Absolutely. That reminds me of this little saying. It goes a little something like, better late than never.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. What I miss, y'all. How we doing?
Good. We're doing good. We were just talking about the afterlife.
Yeah.
Really? Awesome.
Yeah, he was
What do you
asking.
think?
Man, well, I grew up with Christian values and whatnot. I've been getting into my Bible really recently. So, traditionally, I believe in heaven.
I like that. That's
Yes.
good. That's good to hear somebody who is young but also takes no shame in their religious beliefs.
Absolutely, my
That's something
friend.
I feel like I have a hard time talking about is if I ever have religious beliefs, I feel like it's hard to talk about them sometimes because
Yes.
it's in this type of society or in today's society, it seems like a very unnormal. It seems like you are going against the status quo if you're young and religious.
Yes. Absolutely.
And
It's
and I mean when I say religious, I mean I'm thinking of like Catholic or Jewish or I'm not thinking because you were talking about there's spiritual and then there's religious. I'm thinking of specifically religious.
sure. Yeah, it wasn't until like a year or two ago I really started talking about my faith more openly. Um, I think that's just part of growing up. Some people are still scared to talk about their faith or their beliefs and whatnot. I'm so open to hearing every part of the story. But whatever you identify with, don't be afraid to don't be afraid to preach it. I think.
Yeah.
I'm like, I mean, I was raised Jewish,
Sure.
so I don't know much about the Bible,
Yes.
but I do find that not knowing much about Christianity is somewhat toxic for me because, like, what I hear about Christianity is some of these crazier people who
Absolutely.
identify as Christians sharing their perspective of the religion, which is not always what the Bible says or what maybe your pastor or your preacher says, for example. So it could be a bad image of Christianity for me when somebody who identifies as Christian talks about something that is just their interpretation of the religion. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Sure.
Something I've noticed though also is that the people, the ones who are like crazy, radical sort of Christians who put their voice out there and make themselves heard, will be able. I feel like they'd reach more people than the mass number of Christians do. And I feel like if I've noticed, if I go to a church now, usually not a Catholic, I'm not a fan of the Catholic Church because I used to go there, but it's just so boring, dude. I don't get much out of it. There are some churches that I go to and I'm like, okay, this is actually like I enjoy it. And when I do go, which is not often, but I'm starting to enjoy it a little bit sometimes.
Absolutely.
And but the people there, the Christians, I've noticed are just such good people usually. They're very happy people and they wish the best on people usually. And that's something
Absolutely.
that I think is very telling of how valuable Christianity can be because it's such a good group of people that they have a lot of love to give.
Yes.
And obviously there's outliers who and there's obviously Christians who they'll say they're Christian but they don't actually like
Yeah.
practice
Practice.
Christianity.
Right. Which
But
religion doesn't have nice people?
um I mean all of them.
Right. I think
Yes.
every religion could be categorized as like having nice people and not having nice people.
Yeah.
I think to
Very good point. Because look, I was literally thinking of which religion is the least nice. But yeah, dude, I got us take a step back and realize, oh, we are all there. The world is full of evil and good people.
Yeah, no,
They're
we're
gonna
all people.
identify differently.
No matter what religion you choose to believe, we're all still people and we're all still flawed, you know? It's not like choosing one religion makes you better than anybody else because we're still all the same. We're all still the same people and we all still have, messed up. None of us are perfect.
right.
That's funny you mention you don't enjoy the Catholic Church
Oh,
service.
it's so boring, dude.
Dude,
They make
I
it so boring there.
speaking of boring, brother, I remember being a child, being in church service. Me,
Dude,
my
me
dad, my
too.
what's that?
Oh wait, I thought you were talking about like CCD, but you were talking about church service. My bad.
Yes, I remember being um what would you call the top layer of the the okay, what is a place called where you worship? What is that place called?
Where you worship
Yeah. Where does everyone sit?
in the pews or in the aisles?
Sure. The top aisles. I'm sorry.
Oh, the front rows.
Yeah. Me and my dad and my sister would sit in the top aisles. Weren't so visible by the
Like
pastor.
the nosebleeds?
Oh, in the back rows, like in the back.
Yeah.
You mean up high?
Yes,
And
we'd
on
sit
like
up
a
high.
yeah.
I don't know why, but yeah, dude, I would just it'd be 10 in the morning on Sunday. Probably just got done playing video games all night. Man, I'd be sleeping during pastor's word. And as I've grown up, now I actually have the energy to listen and interpret what they have to say. So it's changed. Yeah, it's changed. I take value from everyone I listen to, and I've been to one church service out here. It was pretty nice. So I'm open to everything, brother. It's a great
Mhm.
time.
Yeah, me too. I'm very open to most. I like all religions because I feel like they all have a lot of truth and about how to live and about just the way of life and about just the condition of humankind and suffering and just a lot of deep truths in all of religions. They all sort of tie
Yeah.
into one another.
I so agree with that. I was just wondering, because like a lot of religions have one God, but many religions have multiple gods. So like, where does that come into play?
Um,
What's the real like? What's the relationship between a religion with multiple gods and Christianity? How
I
could
don't
you
know.
derive that?
and I don't know because I don't know many religions that have multiple gods except for ancient ones, I'd say.
Yeah,
Um,
gods as in
like the god of the sun,
yeah,
and
sun
the
god,
moon, and
moon
the rain.
god.
That's kind of reminds me of like mythology, Greek, ancient sort of
Yes,
polytheism.
yes. When I took philosophy, a lot of them mentioned gods in plural, and yeah, no, I don't know how. I know Christianity and what would you call it? Um, if Christianity is Christian, what is Islam? Is
Islam.
Islam?
Yeah.
Okay. Islam. Those are the two most popular religions, I think, still today. Um, yeah, I wonder how these religions have been, so widespread, and how we've kind of moved away from the plural gods religions.
Yeah. Well, if you think about it, the polytheistic view, when you think about the stories that you hear, and if you read into history, like Greek history, Roman history, and the gods they had, there's no substance to it other than sort of mythology where it's it doesn't teach you how to live or how to be or about the human condition. It really seems just like pure entertainment almost. Whereas the religions of today, I mean, I guess they all most of them happen to be the popular ones happen to be monotheistic, but they just have a lot of truth into them beyond the parables and stories and beyond, just embedded within the stories themselves. There's a lot of meaning and truth. So I feel like that separates them from the polytheistic views. And then the polytheistic views also, I don't know though, because there's probably a lot that just was lost to time. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe there's just not that much documented about them because it was lost to time and it faded away. And yeah, I don't know.
You know, there's a synagogue right here.
I think I've seen it.
I thought I saw a dude wearing a kippah and
Probably did.
he was like tweaking.
Oh,
He must have been.
oh, really?
He was. I was walking back from class and he was like always looking behind
Really?
him, doing like spin moves. And he might have just been like on the spectrum or something, but it was weird.
Dude, people are paranoid, my friend.
Yeah.
I've had it happen like twice now, which I get it. It was late in the night. I was coming home from the library and I was singing, just singing with my headphones on. And these two kids in front of me, like 50 feet in front of me, they're looking behind me. What's this kid doing? Man, I do get it though. It was late at night. You can never be too safe, but yeah, it's just we as humans we need rear view mirrors within our within our vision.
I find it so weird, like how people look at me as a white person, but also I'm a man, which I feel like people are more skeptical of men
Definitely.
who are maybe singing in public at night than
Oh, yeah.
a woman who would be singing in public at night,
No
For sure. I
wonder.
mean, yeah.
or a person of a different skin color singing at night.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Wow.
Yeah.
Very good point.
And also, it's just one of those things where society is very more, I don't know, more alone, even though
Yeah.
now more than ever. If you think back in, I don't know, hundreds of years ago, when you lived in a village, if you were out, I don't know, walking the fields or feeding the chickens, singing a song, nobody would think that was
Right.
weird.
Yes.
But if you're walking in the streets, all of a sudden you're an anomaly. So it's just really these times in the society
Yes.
that we live in
You
and the
see-
social norms. I feel like that's a big part of it.
You see, we organized this thing through the group chat, man. 20, 30 years ago, there was no group chats. I would have to come to you and organize this prior in person. So,
Or like send a letter.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
RSVPs.
Send a letter, man. I really do wish this generation would regress back towards real interaction.
Yeah.
We would all be very ahead, I believe, if we were just more comfortable talking with one another.
I agree. And that's why you were saying the other day, I remember, I think it was you that, dude, I just wonder how these like newer generations are going to be raised up on all this technology.
Wow.
Maybe you were saying, I don't know who was saying it, but, talking to somebody about it the other day
Sure.
and how,
Yeah.
like, are people going to be okay? Or
'Cause
what, you know,
We're already
are people going to be real messed up because of it?
we're already so affected by social media and the phones that surround us. For our children to be thrown right into it, I can't even imagine, friend. Like, how are we gonna even inform them on remotely what life used to be like prior? Like, dude, I think they're gonna take away the playground, bro, and it's just gonna be
Dude,
screen
no.
time recess.
And that's crazy to think because the memories that I have that really count, and the older I get, the more I realize what really matters in life is the people in your life. But the memories I have that really make a difference that I can reminisce on are mostly memories of being with people or going out, seeing friends and going to their houses and, biking around, or family on the
Yes.
holidays. What made the holidays was great was just the coming together of family. And
Wow.
now it doesn't happen too much now that we're older, or now that I'm older, it doesn't happen as much. And so I was just saying the other day, I think I was talking to you about this,
This
but
might have been, yeah.
that now it's sort of hitting the point where it's like, if I want to have family at the holidays, I'm at the point where I need to create my family.
That's right.
I need to be the dad,
Yes.
and times change like that. My parents become the grandparents and I start my own family, and it keeps it going.
Wow.
It doesn't just end, unless you
Man.
make it end, but
Yes.
unless you decide that you're an endpoint.
I also think connection is so important. And it's so funny because, like, you were talking about social media. Like, how unsocial is that media? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When was the last
Wow.
time you found something, like, wholesome on your friend's post on Instagram?
Never.
Like,
The closest thing I get to wholesome or social interaction on social media, I've figured out over just using it over the years, is if you go into some sort of streamer that's kind of small,
Yeah.
and just talk to the people in the chat. That's the closest you can get to being social on social media. Other than that, comment sections, nothing social about it. Making videos and nothing really social about it, unless you're making a podcast. But like, if you want to be on the internet, chat rooms or live streams are the closest you get to social interaction.
Dude, that is so funny because social media really is just the foundation of it really is just comparison, I believe. And people post to show that, oh, I traveled here, this and that. If you really enjoyed it, then, I mean, you could write a book on it, create a photo collage, but you don't really have to project it to all your followers. Like,
Yeah, it's not helping anybody. It's not helping you. It's not helping anybody. And if what makes you happy is seeing, the likes go up in that first, day that you post it, and that determines your happiness, and seeing the comments like, oh, you're so cute,
yes,
whatever. Oh my gosh, like, what a great trip. If that's what makes you, if you decide that that's what makes you happy, then you're going to be a very unhappy person because it's very fleeting. There's not much meaning to that. It's a lonely feeling, and and any negative attention will just tear you down also if that's what's important to you. And so people don't realize it, but like what they actually want is social interaction, but they're just trying to get that through clicks.
Let me
It's a
ask
weird
y'all-
form of addiction, or like not addiction, but just that it triggers that circuit in your brain where it hits a dopamine spike when you see likes and views go up, you see good comments.
like, wow, I'm being noticed.
It triggers
here.
something in your brain, and so it prompts you to do it again because that behavior gets reinforced. If you do it and you get the views and you get the trigger, you're gonna do it again.
And let me
And
ask
so-
y'all, what was your first exposure to social media, and what age?
Probably Instagram,
Yeah.
maybe. Like, I don't see YouTube as social media.
Yeah, no,
I like YouTube just
Yeah.
for it's the only social media I guess I use.
Sure.
But I just like to watch videos.
nice.
It's like, but the first social media I got into was probably Instagram, and I was maybe in 6th grade or
Sure.
3rd grade. I don't know, somewhere in elementary school, but I just made a stupid account and didn't post anything. And my sister made an account, and I didn't use it. Like,
sure.
and it was way different than it used to be also.
I think
It was more like Facebook. People just
Oh,
had
wow.
personal accounts,
dude.
and then it turned into memes,
Yes, let me tell you, bro. My first exposure to social media was also Instagram. I was in 4th grade, and I remember I think everyone was just a lot more I don't know. There was just such a nice little charm to making a post. And mind you, when we were young, I don't know about y'all, I would post way too much and stuff that just was not post worthy. Man, just like very, very childish stuff like a pink donut. Literally just a pink donut.
Oh, I used to
Or-
post food.
Oh my
That was like
gosh.
my first account. I used to post cake and foods on it
Yes.
that I just would find on the internet. I didn't even make the food
Oh
myself.
my god. See, you see how
I just thought it was
you see how
yeah.
humble and just like experimental children are. I love that, my friend. I used to make you guys remember Vine, of course.
Yeah.
oh, dude, Vine.
I
yeah.
wouldn't be on
That changed
Vine
the
making
meme game.
vines, but I would be making vines on Instagram. Just funny short little skits.
Yeah, some of the Vines were funny, dude. And then Vine died out because they made a mistake. I think they refused to pay their content
Yeah.
creators who were giving them so much attention
right.
and views. And so they just were like,
Owned
we're
by
just going to go
Twitter.
to YouTube or Instagram, and we are not going to post on Vine anymore. And
Yeah.
because
Wow.
Vine refused to reward the people who are making it an
Oh.
actual
Platform.
profitable platform
Yeah.
for
It's
them.
like Daquan. Do you know who that is?
On Instagram, right?
Well, he used to be on Vine. That's
No
how
way.
he
Yeah.
made
I had
his
no
name.
clue.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I remember hearing that story. Him and like the top 10 creators who had like 90% of the views on that
Yeah.
platform were like, we're not going to make a video on this platform if you don't pay us more.
And
Wow.
they chose not to pay them, and that's
Yeah.
why they died.
Wow. Well, it is kind of hard to pay someone through 6-second clips, but
Yeah, they didn't know also the risks associated with if they looked back in hindsight and were like, dude, if we had just paid them, if we had known this was going to be as big as it could have been, like TikTok
yeah.
and Instagram, because dude, they were the first to the game.
Wow.
They would have probably,
That-
dude, they go back any day and pay
that
them
is-
probably.
That's the first form of, you could say, reels and short form gratification, I think.
I think,
I
yeah,
didn't
it
even
was.
think of that.
I think so.
Wow.
And
What
so-
about Musically? Do you know what that is?
Oh, of course. Prior TikTok. Oh my gosh.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
The middle school, all the girls loved it. I'd be on the bus going home. Every girl is making a Musically. That is so funny because it was pretty much like as popular as TikTok, I think. Yeah, what a time, my friend.
I thought it was so funny when you said that you would post things that were not post worthy.
Yeah.
What a funny conception that
Yes.
something has to be worthy of being posted.
Yeah.
Right?
That there's
Yeah.
like a proper way to use Instagram.
Yeah. So funny.
At the time, it was post-worthy, but now it's
Yes.
with the conventions of today. Looking back, you would say that it's not post-worthy because
And look, I've had the
Of-
same Instagram since I've created it, and I followed all my fourth grade buddies. Unfortunately, or it's how they look at it. I think it's pretty funny. Some of them were not able to retrieve their old accounts, and here is their fourth grade persona. Bunch of posts, just obviously not who they are now. It's
yeah,
it's
it's like a little time capsule.
Yes. So
And it's
funny.
also, it can be dangerous. If you say the wrong thing or come off how you don't want to be perceived, and then you can't take that off the internet,
Yes.
and then maybe some future recruiter looks at your
Yeah.
fourth grade
Yeah.
Instagram and was like, well,
That's why I want to.
Oh my gosh.
That's true that it's dangerous to talk on the internet now. Sometimes you could be held at you could just be held at gunpoint with what you say.
literally, yeah.
But at the same time, I want to try to get myself in a position where it doesn't matter what I say because I know I'm not a bad person, and if I say something stupid, it's not coming from a place of hate, and that I don't want to be in a position where somebody has that much power over me to the point where I can't say what I want to say.
Absolutely.
Or I'm going to lose my job, or it's like losing a freedom. And so I want to be able to provide. That's why it'd be the best to be able to like provide for yourself and have work for yourself.
Be your own boss.
Be your own boss.
Yes.
Or yeah.
Wow.
And people can't cancel you.
Yeah.
And then you also, if you get to be your own boss and then people try to cancel you and you just don't bat an eye at it, it draws more people in because it shows the authenticity to your behavior. It shows that you're not just trying to just cater to the people on the internet and you're going to retract what you say just to get their attention and just to please the people on the internet. It shows that you're just like a stand-up guy. There's some sort of, you have values and there's authenticity to you.
Absolutely. Wow. I feel, through this, I feel like I do just naturally. I feel like I have to censor myself a bit because, we are in college. We are in the presence of recruiters. I would love to reach a point where I'm my own boss. I say what I want and really say what I want and just be uncensored in that way. Joe Rogan's got it, my friend. He's got a platform and an army of people. He is not cancelable.
Right.
No one's canceling Joe Rogan. And man, we work hard enough. We could all be on that show one day.
Dude, and it's funny because, like, what does it actually mean to get canceled, There's people, I think, who have been canceled and then regain popularity, and people forget about that stuff.
Yeah.
It's like...
It's to be unforgiving, quick to attack and slow to forgive.
Right. There's people who have been canceled multiple times. How does that make any sense?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
want to know what
And it's just, dude, it's crazy. It's so stupid to think about.
Yeah.
The analogy I put that towards is, man, you get a really bad speeding ticket. You know, you get what I'm getting at?
Like you get your license taken away.
Get your license taken for a little bit, get it back.
Right.
You know, like, but that's more a content creator track record,
Yeah.
being canceled and whatnot. It's gonna happen. You get tickets. Yeah, we move on.
Yeah, and like to add to that analogy, like sometimes you just get canceled in the way of you just pay a fine. They don't even take your license.
Yeah,
And sometimes you can't get your license for like 5 years.
sure.
Yeah, so there's like varying degrees of which somebody can get canceled.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely. But
Yeah.
it's very hard to. Well, it depends on how the creator's gonna react. I don't think there is a ultimate cancel button. I don't. It takes a lot to really just get canceled and silenced. I can't unless y'all can think of an example.
Well, I think that's messed up also though, is if you're being censored, that's where it starts crossing a line where I think that's not in the best interest of anybody, is when you start censoring people because they said something. Or, I mean, I guess obviously if you're doing illegal things, you can't be posting that on the internet or it's going to get taken down. If you're posting crime or just very, very bad things. But yeah, for things you say, if you're getting censored, I think that's where the internet stops becoming a place for free speech to propagate and starts becoming a place for political ideas to just start taking root. And it starts politicizing the platforms, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I could think of Jake Paul comes to mind when
Sure.
you ask that. Like, from my understanding, he takes a video of a dude who committed suicide in a Japanese.
That was,
Oh, it was
Logan.
Logan Paul.
Yes.
And then he
Dude,
comes
yeah,
back and he
That was
he's got a
wild.
huge platform.
Yeah.
Did
to
he
work from.
actually, like that video? I never saw it because it was taken out, but did he actually film a dead dude in the
Dude,
woods? and post it?
look.
That's what he did, right?
That's
Let
I
me
think.
tell you, I hate to be. Oh, I knew him beforehand. I was subscribed to the Logan Paul vlogs at 70K subscribers.
That's
I would
nuts.
keep up with his videos. I remember seeing this Japan vlog. Yes, he really did do that.
Really?
And I saw it uncensored. Well, obviously the body was censored in the video, but this stuff you really can't find on. I don't know if you can even see that clip anymore. It's
Yeah.
Talk about just like what I was saying earlier about projecting something to your followers. That was extreme.
Yeah, that was extreme. He shouldn't have. It was probably a lapse of judgment there for him to post that.
Right.
Lapse of better judgment. But at the same time, I don't think it makes him a bad person. I don't know much about Logan Paul, but I've never seen him as a bad person. Him or Jake, I never really they don't seem like bad people to me.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
They seem like I don't know. I don't know much about them, honestly.
There was an interview with Tom Holland where he's
Oh.
like, if you don't have my phone number, like, don't say anything about me. Like, if you don't know me enough to
Tom
say
Holland
anything
said
about
that?
me, yeah.
To Logan Paul.
No, just in general.
Yeah.
I'm saying,
Oh.
like, it's so easy for us to judge.
Oh, like in general,
Oh.
yeah. Oh,
Celebrities.
yeah, exactly. Like that's like I don't know shit about him.
Right.
Honestly,
Oh.
he
Very
could
good
be
point. my
he could be a
friend.
horrible
Yeah.
person. He could
It's
be a
so
great
valid.
person.
Wow.
Like, we just, like you were saying, there's this like censored version of you right now, you know? I mean, imagine what it's like to be a super famous celebrity.
Yeah.
Where you have to constantly censor yourself, even to a higher degree, maybe.
Wow.
And then we judge that
Yes.
perspective of them. We don't even know who they are. Most
But even then, that's why you got to get in the position where you can't be censored. Tom Holland's in a very specific situation where it matters what he does and says, because if he gets canceled, that's he's still got those strings tied to him, you know, in the Hollywood industry. But in Joe Rogan, or why I love stand-up comedy, is because you can't cancel podcasts or comedy. It will always be uncancelable, you know?
What about
Wow.
Dave Chappelle?
Dave Chappelle, you can't cancel him, bro. He's the GOAT.
I'm interested because I was never.
People will always love him.
He got supposedly canceled.
Did he? I didn't even know that.
What,
There's
for his
some-
most recent Netflix special?
What about Kill
There's
Tony?
something
Tony
about
Hinchcliffe getting
transgenders,
Yeah,
right?
some LGBTQ issue.
Right.
But I wonder what his viewership looked like before and after.
probably even higher.
I know.
It draws people in because the bullshit people see through it and they see that he's not a bad person. You know, through at least through his work, and you could see some sort of like just authenticity and genuine. He's a genuine person, but in what he does. But
Yeah, there's this saying.
what about Tony?
Sorry.
Oh, sorry, no.
No, in the PR industry, it's like any bad PR is good PR.
Oh,
Like any attraction for yourself is good attraction.
yeah.
You know?
I don't think that's.
Wow.
I know that saying, but I don't think that's always necessarily true because then it goes back to, what if you're the dude posting videos like Mr. Beast just got canceled, like, just like spreading that kind of just garbage.
Oh my god.
I mean, I
Y'all
guess it
re- y'all
works for some
remember-
people, but at the same time, that's not authentic to me.
Do y'all remember Drama Alert, Keemstar?
Keemstar.
Yeah.
What happened to him?
Dude, I don't hear much from him anymore, but he talk about propaganda, bro. He was a very dude, he had a side on things, bro. And more times than not, he would definitely if someone did something wrong, he was definitely putting dirt on him. And trust me,
Who?
this guy is Keemstar, Drama Alert. Look him up. Yeah, dude, and trust me, he's had his history of dirt, but it's funny, dirty people want to put more dirt on people for wrongdoings.
Yeah, and I wonder how much of it is he made his name doing something like that. And so he's learned that doing that, like perpetuating that, will get him even more fame.
Yes.
So it's just like this.
He got the
ego
dopamine
thing.
hits. It worked
Yeah.
for him, so he kept doing it. It's reinforced
Exactly.
behavior, really.
Yeah.
Did,
know?
did it show up? Is he still?
Yeah,
making
I saw
videos?
saw his face. I think I vaguely recognize him.
Yeah.
But I've never really watched his stuff or looked too much into him.
Sure. Yeah. No.
I didn't know he was like a sort of hater type of
Oh my gosh, dude.
propagate hate.
Dude,
Um,
that little era of YouTube, man, I used to be such a YouTube kid, bro. PewDiePie,
I love PewDiePie.
yes. Man, did we all play Minecraft in here?
Yeah,
Oh,
of
hell yeah.
course.
Dude, I love watching. There was this time I went through a phase. I absolutely loved watching it because it was. I don't know why. It was like comfort to me. I would watch. I'd get home from work or whatever. I'd be tired at night, and I'd pull up these people just playing Among Us on streams, and I thought it was so entertaining. And it was because the people who were playing I thought were funny. It was like it would be like Ludwig. Do you know who Ludwig is? And Toast and Michael Reeves.
Yes.
And Valkyrie, and they'd all play Among Us. I thought it was like the most entertaining shit ever for like a couple months there.
I love Michael Reeves' content, dude. He's like one of those funny nerds. He's so incredibly talented, but
I love what he does, dude. He makes programming fun. He makes like robots and shit. Like that's the fun side of computers, I think. He's a computer scientist.
Yes.
You know, he dropped out of school so that he could make robots and post videos about it. That's a computer scientist. That's
Okay.
somebody like
in his videos, he always shows the code, right? But to
usually I
me,
think he can.
like I don't really care about that stuff, so I just fast forward through that part, even though
Yeah.
he does like go very quickly through it.
Uh-huh.
Are you the type of person to like pause it and like look at it?
No, well, I haven't watched like now. Maybe I would.
Okay.
I probably would pause it and look at it and try to see what he's doing or listen to him explain it. I never skip through it. But at the time, I haven't really watched any of his videos since I started coding. It's been a while since I watched because he doesn't post often.
That's like once a year
So,
right
yeah, I
now.
don't see when he posts. I don't see it, and so then I'll usually come across him like a couple years later, and then I'll see he posted videos. I'll just binge watch them. Like
His most recent video, I showed my parents. I loved it so
I gotta
much.
watch it. You told me about it, but I gotta watch it.
He
Michael Reeves, huh?
have you never heard of this guy?
Oh yeah, he's like a
I haven't.
nerdy little.
Let me tell you what he did.
He's great.
Let's hear it.
He created a center console where you take 4 rentable scooters. So like we have we have what's the one here called?
Spin?
Spin, right?
Yep.
He took 4 Lime scooters in California. One for each like wheel of a car essentially. Took a Wii remote, a wireless Wii steering remote,
Oh my.
and Bluetooth controlled a car using 4 electric scooters that he rented
You're kidding.
and drove across like some busy intersection to his friend's house.
Dude.
Dude, that's such a Michael Reeves thing. That's so.
Oh, is this the
that's so
same
fun,
dude
though.
who? This has to be the same dude who like jetpacked to McDonald's or something. Like
No,
that?
I
No,
don't
no.
like Rotocopter. I know what you're
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about.
yeah.
No, I think that's a different guy.
But he does these crazy projects.
Just like
Yeah, I'll pull up a photo of him. He's this guy.
highly original work.
He's
okay.
I guess if you've never seen him, you've never seen him. But he's
Man,
like this.
dude, look. Do y'all remember YouTube Rewind?
Yes.
Yes, bro.
It like got progressively worse.
Yeah.
Not really. I don't think I can recall what it is.
YouTube Rewind was a end of the year video made by YouTube. It'd be all the most popular YouTubers. I remember like the first one I think was with Psy from Gangnam Style.
Yes.
Oh, dude.
Smosh was in there.
That's hilarious. So was that this?
Dude,
was
I
that,
really enjoyed watching YouTube Rewind, bro.
When
I-
did it fall off? I feel like it was a while ago because I haven't
Gangnam
seen a
Style.
new one.
I remember there was the what the fuck say. Y'all remember that?
That was like 2012.
Yeah, that was still good
Bro.
stuff. Like,
Did you know Gangnam Style actually? I think it was the first video on YouTube to ever have negative views on it.
What does that mean?
So like, what happened was YouTube stored their they stored their integer system. Like YouTube's views was stored in a integer data type, and an integer data type on their 32-bit system held up to like, I don't know if it was unsigned in. No, it wasn't. I don't even think it was an unsigned in. So it stored up to about 2 point something billion characters in it.
and he
Or,
surpassed that.
and he surpassed 2 billion so fast that it overflowed from 2 billion into negative 2 billion. Because the integer has a value. This data type has a value from negative 2 billion to positive 2 billion.
Sure.
And so when you overflow, it's like a clock. It goes back to zero at the beginning. So it went all the way back to negative 2 billion. And then they went in and changed the system
Sure.
for like to a 64-bit system, and it had more probably to like a, I don't know, double type maybe, or it can hold way more, just like trillions.
Wow.
Wow. Do you guys remember when sorry. Do you guys remember when Instagram was chronological?
Yes.
You recall that?
Yes, I
Get-
do.
get-
What do you mean by
this.
chronological?
So you go on Instagram right now, you're gonna see a post from 8 hours
Oh, yeah,
ago.
no, I know. Yeah.
Get this, bro. I mean, obviously they've been able to pick up their profits through whatever you call that, non-chronological.
Yeah, it's a different algorithm.
Dude,
that is,
I had a really weird shtick with me. I don't know what you would call this, bro, but everyone I followed on Instagram, it's funny. You cannot reach the end of this now.
No.
It's
Yes.
unlimited.
yes,
but when
I remember you
when
could
I
reach the end of the
followed
feed. That's actually true.
when I followed a certain amount of people on chronological, I would go through every single post because I feel like, oh, I finished it. Not a good habit, but I would do this with everything I had. Vine, YouTube. I watched every single video in my feed because you could actually do it back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Like-
provides
would
like a sense
only
of
give you the
closure.
people- who you followed.
exactly.
It would only give you who you followed. Now it's just an algorithm that pulls from what you watched to what you might watch and just gives you there's an algorithm behind it.
Yes.
It shows you anything.
Mm-hmm.
And if you like these
Simply-
videos or you spend more time looking at these, it'll show you something
Simply
similar.
made to just keep you on the app, my friend. Like,
Dude, TikTok has mastered the algorithm.
oh, absolutely.
They have mastered it.
You
better
want to
than
know
any other-
something
any
funny,
other app
dude?
for short content.
About addictive nature within apps, bro. The swipe on the TikTok replicates a slot machine. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes, dude. 'cause-
Like it's you don't with
ding,
Instagram
ding.
you have to do a little work to like put the video, but it's just one right next to the other,
wow.
like a slot
Yeah.
machine. Like
Makes sense.
I found
It's
that pretty
dude.
cool.
Well, it sucks because it doesn't end. It's a constant, endless stream of stimulation that doesn't end. It's not like you have to back out, click on a new video. It doesn't end. It just keeps going automatically, and so you can stay focused on it and continue getting that dopamine release
Yes.
that just keeps you sucked in. You're like one more, and then it passes and it starts the other one without you even thinking about it. So you're like, all right, one more, and it's like it just keeps you going.
Wow.
My original concern with TikTok was not being a U.S. owned company,
That's right.
Yeah.
they have different regulations to follow, and I'm pretty sure this was revealed, but they take data that US companies cannot take. They store that data and they use it in their algorithms, which is probably why they have such a monopoly in this algorithmic suggestion feed.
Gosh.
Because
I don't use TikTok for these reasons. I was
Same.
hesitant to download it also, and then I finally re-downloaded it and was like, I'll try to post some stuff. But even then, dude, they can like monitor your keystrokes and stuff.
As
I
well
think
as
when you agree to use TikTok, you agree to a lot of stuff.
I think, do they not have access to your camera roll?
for sure they do.
Yeah.
That's
And
messed up.
they might even have
Probably.
access to your live camera, watching you scroll,
Yeah, probably.
seeing
dude.
how
I wouldn't
you
be
react.
surprised.
Look,
Oh yeah,
I-
they can monitor. They can monitor micro expressions and your facial expressions to determine engagement, which is
and as soon as we
it's like
start,
it's not just playing a video. It's like they're actually seeing if you're engaged in the video.
as soon as we start talking about this stuff, these guys are listening in on us.
Of course.
But get this, bro. When you talk about this type of stuff, you talk about dog food, you're going to see dog food on there. But when you talk about exposing what we're talking about right now, they're not going to bring back. They're not going to bring back
You
those type
might
of
get
videos.
you might get videos about people saying, like, exposing it. Honestly, I wouldn't even be surprised
Yeah.
if you talk about exposing it for long enough and how this and that. You might see shorts that are about, did you know that TikTok is exposing
Yes.
you?
Yes.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh yeah. Very good point.
And that's why the US tried to make TikTok, the Chinese corporation like ByteDance or someone, sell TikTok to a US owned company, or else Trump was threatening to ban TikTok in
right.
the US.
Yeah.
And there were many colleges that actually banned TikTok on campuses because of that reason. But I think everything's been lifted for some
Yeah.
reason.
It was, I guess, too much for privacy concern.
Yeah, I remember that when that was happening, when it was there was a concern about TikTok being banned.
Yeah.
Yes. I
And I was like, good thing I don't use it. So
I deleted TikTok for a long time. And I made some clips on there. I told y'all I used to make POV cooking videos.
Yes.
I had a couple videos here and there. I enjoyed the process. And recently I re-downloaded TikTok just because my buddies were making TikToks on there. And you used to be able to your friends used to be able to send you a link and you could view the TikTok without downloading the app. They've changed that now.
Yes.
Oh,
And
yeah,
you
it's hard to
have to
get through.
download the app.
People send me TikToks and I
Yeah.
can't watch them.
Yeah.
I know.
Yes,
Usually
exactly.
you can't do it through clicking it. You have to you can get lucky sometimes if you search on the internet and it pulls you to a TikTok page and you find something that's only on TikTok, and you can sometimes watch it through the internet, but if it's through a link, you have to download the app.
Yep.
And it's because I was thinking there was this funny TikTok that I thought was I want to show you guys before I tell you. So I'll pull it up and show you guys because I thought it was hilarious. But yeah. And I remember sending it or trying to find it, and it was like trying to redirect me through the app, and I don't know. I don't even know, honestly.
Sure.
Whatever.
Wow.
I'm curious. Is it weird to you that people find a lot of reward in like showing other people videos that they found
Oh my
that they didn't
God.
even really find?
Yeah. I
That
don't know.
is so funny.
That is true. But I want to
Wow.
I mostly want to show you this one is out of because I don't want to spoil it because
No, I'm not calling you out. I do
Yes.
that. I do that
Yeah.
all the time.
That is so funny.
But yeah, it's like you find I know exactly what you mean where it's cuz I think you get to share a laugh with
Yeah.
It's like you want to save it so you can share the laugh with
Oh
them.
my gosh.
And
dude,
you could share it's
that is
because
so
that's one thing is social media with people is a lot better than scrolling alone. If you throw up a funny video on YouTube at your friend's place and you all are laughing together, way better than just being in your room alone.
dude, that's
watching
so
some video.
funny because look, we've all been in a room with some friends and we're all just like scrolling. Like
That's
dude,
the most social part.
Yes, yes. Dude, get this. We are reaching a point where I have a buddy. We'll be scrolling or whatever. And I said, dude, let me show you this video. He said, nah, send it to me. Like, dude. Oh my gosh.
That's
We
so
are
funny.
yeah. We've got to change something here. Man.
And I find that the first time I see a funny video on a platform, it's like, oh, this is good, and then I keep scrolling for more like it, but it's never as rewarding. Oh yeah, it's never as rewarding, you know. So it's similar to drugs. Like the first time is probably going to be one of the best, and then every single
Yeah.
time after that, you're just chasing that
Yeah. Sure.
original high.
Wow.
You'll find, yeah, dude, you'll scroll through 100 shorts to find one gem that made you actually smile.
Right.
And all the others were just either fake smiles or garbage.
Dude, it's so funny. When I was little hooked to TikTok, bro, how would I warrant myself to get off this app? Yeah, let me see one more good video. Not that good. A couple more. We're getting there. Then you see it and you keep going. It was bad, bro. But I'm glad I've came out of that pattern, bro. Yeah, dude. But I've
Dude,
got,
it's refreshing. If you stop, there was a time when I stopped using social media entirely, everything for, I don't know, a few months there, and I was just instead reading, and it was really refreshing in some way where I just felt there was I had much more control. Like my ADHD got better almost. I had more control over my thoughts and what I wanted to think about and what I wanted to do. And my thoughts were much more deliberate instead of just, I don't know what to do. Let's just pull up Instagram. It was like, I'll start reading and it'll get me thinking.
oh,
And it's just a very different experience. And there's something very, like, it's just organic feeling about it. I don't know a better word than just organic.
Yeah, I relate to that. I think I have a lot of tendencies that I would label as like self-destructive,
sure.
but in certain moods, when I'm feeling a certain way, I'll just do that thing anyway, even though rationally, like most of the time, I don't want to do that thing. There are just times where I will do that thing, even though I recognize it as self-destructive.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, 10 out of 10 times I would rather read a book than watch YouTube in my head. But when I'm like actually watching YouTube, I'm like, this is great. You know, I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
have to do anything.
course.
My
Yeah,
brain is
so
not
And you feel like
amazing.
you're also, you can watch informative stuff also. You could still learn on YouTube, which is great also.
right.
You don't have to watch garbage.
Wow.
And so yeah, but when you read, there's a different feeling. It's almost like, even if you use Instagram, I feel like the best way to use YouTube because when I started getting back into YouTube after I stopped for a while, I was only listening to it was like Buddhist type things, just very enlightening stuff. And it just kind of kept that vibe going. And I wasn't really watching it. I was just listening. But I can relate it to stopping all social media, not even opening it once at all during the day for a period of time, like a month or two, maybe even a little bit longer. It's similar to the feeling, or analogous to the feeling of quitting nicotine, in that you just feel more refreshed in what you're doing. Social media, it's one of those things you don't realize until you quit, but nicotine used to kill my motivation. It would make me feel sort of foggy and just like sloppy, and like there's something, it just made everything feel less rewarding. And same thing with social media, where when I quit it, I realized that things became much more enjoyable. There was more motivation, just more clarity. It just was a similar sort of experience. They were very analogous to one another.
Oh.
And that your brain
Yeah.
clears that dopamine. You feel more refreshed. You feel less clouded. Your judgment feels less clouded. You have more clear thoughts.
In 12-step programs like Alcoholics Anonymous, there's the general understanding is that like complete sobriety is better than moderation, or it's like not always possible to moderate use. Yeah, so I've totally found that just deleting Instagram, deleting Snapchat has much more benefit than me trying to moderate my Instagram use
Yeah.
or moderate my Snapchat use.
Dang.
Yeah. And it's like, because it's also one of those things where when you finish, even if you spend 20 minutes at night before you go to sleep or whatever, 20 minutes only on YouTube or something, or TikTok or whatever, at the end of that 20 minutes, you close your phone and it leaves you with nothing to think about, and you don't feel better than before you went on it. Whereas if you spent that 20 minutes reading an actually intellectually stimulating book and you close it, you're left with the exact opposite. You have something to think about. You feel like you feel more rewarded. At least I do. I don't know. That's something that's starting to, I've noticed I feel more rewarded
Absolutely.
when I start paying attention to my emotions and stuff. That's how I've noticed it tends to go that way. And I just find, so it's funny how it's actually hard to do that, even though it makes us feel better, you know?
Yeah. There's this quote I like. It's like, most of the world's problems lie in the fact that most people could not sit in a room by themselves for 20 minutes.
Yeah. I've heard that quote. It was like kind of recently almost. So also, I remember, but yeah, because
So true.
because a man can't sit in a room with himself for 20 minutes
Right.
and do nothing.
Why is that? Can we break that down? Well,
Yeah, I think it's like this reward system that we've been talking
Oh,
about.
yes,
You know, it's
yes.
just so, it appears to be so pleasant to scroll when in the long term for me it's damaging,
Yes.
right? But in that moment it's so rewarding.
Mm.
It's so much easier than the next option than like the mental capacity to read a book, for example, you know?
dude, it is so funny you say that because, look, we'll be very tired, like, but somehow we still have the energy to pick our phone up and watch a couple reels. Like,
Yeah.
but we won't have the energy to, go sit at our desk, do some schoolwork.
Or even
This-
or even sit and meditate, which is literally doing nothing.
Yeah.
Like you just don't have.
It takes.
You realize that you still have energy in you. It's just trying to redirect itself onto other things.
We're now convinced just picking up our phone, and which it is very seamlessly, just doesn't take a lot of effort, bro, to move your thumbs. Like, it's bad. I hope people do realize that, like, yeah, we got to be spending our energy every free second we have. Got to be something productive, my friend. When I'm on my phone, I've been calling a lot more people. I love talking on the phone. Some celebrities say, "Oh, who calls nowadays?" Howie Mandel said that.
Howie Mandel?
Yeah, I only.
He's like an old head.
Yeah, no, he is an old head. I only text, dude. A phone. The only similarity between this and flip phones, or the first phones we had, they still have voice call.
Mm-hmm.
So let's keep, phones are a great invention. Let's keep the voice call going. I love calling my friends.
Me too. Well, I just like talking
Yes.
in general. And so talking on the phone is a great way to just lose yourself in your thoughts and have a conversation. And it's almost funny because you're not even face to face with the person, but you can still lose yourself in your thoughts.
Oh.
And all of a sudden an hour's passed. And you're like, I was just pacing, but I was so engaged, like
Yes.
just in my thoughts though.
Wow.
You could be driving, but you're not paying attention to shit. You're just
Yeah.
an autopilot, and you're just somewhere and you're opening
that something?
opening doors in your mind, talking to somebody on the phone.
Yes.
Yeah, it combines like the best parts of technology with what you were saying about connection with people.
Yeah.
You know, like the fact that we could do that now is like such a cool thing because it allows you to do something like you don't have to be in the same location as this person, but you can still have that connection. You can
Right.
still create memories on the phone, which is like really incredible.
It really does feel like they're right there. And I find it so cool. You can call someone across the world, bro, and they're right there with you in your right hand, bro. That is just so cool, bro. Like, we
Yeah.
need to keep this voice call thing going.
Well, it just
check
is-
up on your homies, boys.
It's almost
Yeah.
like but if you really think about it, it really is just people say, oh, humans can't communicate telepathically, but if you think phone calls kind of are, or just talking in general really is like telepathically communicating. You can call somebody in literally on the other side of the earth and talk to them. And by just making these noises with your mouth, all of a sudden you guys are having the same ideas and are just in harmony with each other, having a conversation. It's like, if
Thousands
that's
of
not
miles
telekinesis or
Telepathy.
telepathy, I don't know what is, you know?
Well, I hate to dissect your argument, but like, isn't telepathy nonverbal?
I mean, yeah, I think it is. But
So
I think there.
I get what
yeah.
you're saying though.
Yeah. But yeah, just the idea that you can transfer thoughts with just noises like that it's crazy to think about. But
Yeah, it's
there's also other arguments for telepathy, like I don't know, experiments with like psychedelic drugs, dude. There's like trying to like telepathically communicate with animals and people, and I don't know.
Yeah.
That's just something that always comes up. Is people who do psychedelics always say that I don't know what it is, but there's a common theme that you can just communicate with other people without saying words and telepathically, which is super interesting to think about because it's like the only drug that does that. Nobody says they drank alcohol and telepathically communicated with their best friend who can corroborate the story, you know?
unless they were really fucked up.
Yeah,
Then
but
they
even
might
then they
claim
probably
that.
they wouldn't even remember. It's so it's very fascinating, I think. That's fascinating to me at least.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think there's like something about specifically psychedelics, but also like maybe weed that makes people feel connected to something greater than themselves, which is really incredible. And it's a shame that it was outlawed for so long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say specifically, for me, it's less weed and more. Weed can do that for sure. But for me, what really hits the nail on the head is mushrooms. And I don't know why, but that, for some
Yeah.
reason, that is, I find that to be much more connecting than like anything else, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, psychedelics fascinate me.
They all do though. All psychedelics have that sort of aspect to them, you know?
Yeah.
It really, it's very fascinating to think about.
Isn't it so cool that
They're not like other drugs. They're very, very different.
Yes, weed and
They're more than a feeling,
weed,
you know?
weed and alcohol typically make you feel very just sluggish. You're not all there. Whereas mushrooms, you're so there.
Yeah,
You
it's
know what
it's
I mean?
clarity. It increases. It's like you're seeing more. It's like you see
Yes.
more to what's there, and you realize that something that I always took away is that you can be so wild in what you're seeing. You could never even imagine. You could never dream of it on your craziest dream ever. What you're experiencing, then it makes you question like we don't even know what we are. What I am is so much deeper than and more intricate and complex than what I thought I was. If this is possible for me, if this experience is happening right now and I'm experiencing it and perceiving it, and it shows that I know nothing about myself and that what I am is just way more complex than I could ever imagine.
Yeah, I think the power of belief to me is like way more superior than the power of thought. Like we can only think about so much. But like
And perception, though, like
yeah.
the power of belief and perception, and truth is very, very powerful. If you follow truth, the truth will keep revealing itself, and you keep following it, it'll keep.
But how do we know what's truth?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
But I feel like truth is something.
You said, wait, truth, belief, and perception. That's the three y'all brought up, correct? Yeah, those can all go in conjunction with each other, I believe. But
You ever read The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success?
no.
Deepak Chopra? No?
Mm-mm.
I thought that was like a very popular spirituality book.
What
but
is it?
he's like
7 laws.
7 Spiritual Laws of Success.
No, I don't think I
something
have.
like that. One of them is like do the right thing. That's like the first one.
Oh.
And
Oh yeah.
he
No,
like,
I love this sort of concept.
yeah, well the
Like, how do you know what's right?
right.
But
Yes.
you know, you don't have.
That's
to,
what he
like-
says. Yes, you should just know what's right. You don't have to think about it. You
Wow.
intuitively what you're
Inherently.
drawn to. Yeah.
That
Mhm.
is awesome.
Yeah, I didn't even know that was part of that, but that's something that it's just, I guess, convergent thought, but I've thought that before, just myself. I've heard it maybe other places, and it's something I've thought of at times. That's just, you just know what's right and what's wrong, and when you choose to do what's wrong, it makes you feel bad because you feel guilty. You know you chose the wrong thing to do. And so if you're really truthful and honest with yourself and you actually want answers and you're actually being serious, then you know what's right. The problem is when you don't know when you have no options and then you're trying to look for options, and because that's sort of like that comes down to this. I think this is where Buddhism starts to come from. Is if you have so much free time, like the Buddhist, like one I don't know, one of the Buddhists. I'm thinking he was a prince. He didn't have to do anything. He grew up
Siddhartha.
so wealthy. Yeah, Siddhartha, and he at that point, what's right and wrong if you don't have to do anything? And so you just learn how to be in that sort of certain circumstance. And if you can learn how to be in, well, then didn't he go out and leave the palace and live
Right.
like on the roads traveling and stuff?
The story I read is that his dad was the king and he wanted to raise his son like flawlessly. So he just hid him in the castle for 18
Yeah.
years and he never saw the outside world. And he thought everything was just rainbows and sunshine. And then one day he leaves and he sees, the first day he sees like a homeless
dude,
person.
right?
Right. It's like, wait, people are suffering. Then he sees like a starving dude or like a dead dude. He sees like these increasingly bad things.
Is this a true story, brother?
This is the story of the Buddha.
Okay.
I guess that you believe what you want to believe.
Yeah, okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just had to clarify.
No, you're good. Yeah. There's like this dude Herman Hesse. He's written about like these books. They're fictional, but I think a lot of them have a lot of truth to them.
Sure, based off scripture. Wow.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, but
I've got to delve into that. That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, Buddhism is great, and
yeah,
Taoism
Taoism.
by Lao Tzu or Lao
Tao
Tzu.
Te Ching.
Or the Tao Te Ching, yeah, by Lao Tzu. Yeah, great. The Tao Te Ching.
What values stick out to you from those two religions?
Really just learning how to, or becoming aware of self and of like aware of awareness, becoming aware of who and what you are beyond the material realm of things, and then how to create harmony between the awareness of who you are and the physical objects that you embody also. So how to empty your thoughts and empty your being and just be at peace, completely just yourself without anything coming in and out, just being, and just experimenting with what the universe is and what you are in it, your place in it, and finding unity and everything, but also nothingness behind it all, and just very philosophical. It's just like a very philosophical journey if you start reading that kind of stuff.
Wow.
I find it very fascinating.
Those words just like resonate in my head.
They do.
Yeah, dude. Like you're probably saying it because they resonate with you too.
Yeah. It's like very deep though. If you're not looking for that, you won't find any sort of you won't find anything from it,
Sure.
If you're not ready for it. I'm sure there was a time when I was probably a kid or younger, and if I started reading the Tao Te Ching, I wouldn't have gotten what I got out of it versus reading it a few years ago.
Dude, one of the passages in the Tao Te Ching is like, "He who seeks shall not find."
Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly what you just said.
Exactly. Yeah. He who asks shall receive.
Yeah.
Wait, you said he who
Knock at
seeks
the door
shall
and
not
it will
find.
open.
Yeah.
But that's the opposite of what he said.
No, I thought he said that.
Okay. I thought.
What did you say?
I was saying that when
I
I was
thought-
a kid, I probably would have never found any value in it, but then versus reading it when I was a little bit older, and I found so much value to it, but it was because of it was because I wasn't willing to look into it, or I wasn't at that place of. It really is. What you said really applies. It was like it's a very awakening experience, though. It's like you wake something up within you,
Yeah. I guess like in the context I was using that phrase, my understanding is like, if you're staring at something, like you're gonna miss what it actually is.
Oh, I see.
Like sometimes it's better to just let it come to you.
Oh,
Yes. Okay. Understood. Wow.
That's good. Also, I like that. that outlook on things is
Yeah.
to not look but to see, to not listen but to hear. And these are sort of the things that the Buddhist and Taoist teachings sort of teach you, is to stop trying and just let things happen,
Yeah, I think it's like this bigger thing of how little control we actually have upon our experience, and like the greatest thing we can do is just accept our experience, because then, I mean, life is just easier that way,
And make the most of what we can control.
Right.
Yes, absolutely, my friend. Wow. Boys, let me tell you, to take a step back, it's what is it? It's 5:41 and it's pretty dark outside. We
really?
just gained or I said
Oh,
lost
yeah.
an
That's
hour of
right.
daylight. Did y'all notice, like, you guys weren't up at like 2 last night?
No.
2? No.
Okay. I was.
No,
and
What specifically happened at 2?
dude, me and my buddy, dude, we it's Halloween weekend here in
Meteor
Tallahassee.
shower.
What's that?
I said you saw a meteor shower.
Oh, that'd be sick.
No, dude, what we wanted to do is just walk around and see the type of chaos that's going around. We went to the strip and stayed around the McDonald's area. Of course, it's your typical night. People are drunk and just having trouble. We end up walking back, bro. We finished this movie. Vinny Pacienza. It's a boxer movie. Very, very, very good film. It's about this dude. He got this very bad got in this very bad car accident. Doctor said he wouldn't even be able to walk again. Ends up recovering and becoming the world champ. Real good film. Bleeds into 2 a.m. And then a couple minutes later, I looked down at my phone. It's 1 a.m. I'm like, oh, shoot. What's going on here? And I realized, we lost an hour of daylight. But
Oh yeah.
can't complain. It's fun. But I will say my preference is the other way around.
Oh yeah, I was saying that also. I like it when the days last longer.
Yes.
And,
absolutely. And that's
bit more
not
lights.
that's not convenient for pickleball. Because,
Right,
like,
because they don't come and turn the lights on. They just
On weekends, yeah.
I know. Oh. And then dude, that happen when they don't turn the lights on. Happened to me once. I got smacked in the face by the pickleball because I thought I was over. I was like, I got this shit. And the dude smacks it and it hits me right in the face.
oh
And
my god.
so I was like, it's probably not a good idea to play at
So
night.
here's a better question. Did y'all wake up earlier this morning?
Yeah, I was confused.
Yeah.
Because my microwave has a clock, but my phone has a
Yeah.
clock as well.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I woke up a little bit earlier. I remember waking up and being like, there's no way. I remember checking the time. I was like, did I miss my alarm?
Yeah.
I checked the time and I saw I had a
Yeah.
little time left and it was a little bit brighter through the blinds. So I was like, it must be daylight savings today, because I remember somebody yesterday mentioning it, that it was soon.
Isn't that so funny how
And,
big a difference an hour can make
right.
in the day?
But I slept fine because I'm usually sleep deprived. So I slept the extra hour fine and I just felt refreshed. I could have woken up an hour earlier and I would have felt the same probably,
Sure.
but
It's such a silly concept because, like, we don't need to save energy anymore, really.
Yes.
Like, I think it was just for
Yeah.
the farmers.
Oh.
it was for
And
farmers.
in
for-
Illinois, like, I thought they signed a bill to stop it. Like,
Oh, they did in certain states.
multiple years ago.
Certain states don't do daylight savings, which is the stupidest thing because it should be all on board or all off, because then
Right.
it creates this weird time zone where the time zone shifts around. I don't know. It's just really weird the way that it creates weird discrepancies in. There would be like one state that's just an hour different than its neighboring state, even though they're in the same location because daylight savings. So it's very odd.
Yeah.
You know there's some parts of Florida that are an hour behind us?
Yes, I worked with this girl
What?
who lived in
Yeah.
like, who had to change her clock to go to work,
Yeah.
and then she would go back, and it would be an
Yes.
hour behind.
Wait. Where in Florida?
Um,
I've been to like every single part, every
I think
tip and
I
orifice
know
of
this
Florida.
girl. She's some type of exercise physiology. She lives somewhere out. I want to say west.
Is it like a daylight savings thing,
Yes.
or is it literally
No.
a time zone thing?
It's got to be the time zone thing because it's like that in
Yes.
Indiana as
so
well.
it's got to be maybe as far as you can get into the Panhandle as possible.
Yeah. Something like that, my
It
friend.
has to be because everything to the east of that is just Eastern time,
Right.
East Coast time. Yeah.
India time
New
zone is
York
weird
time.
like that too. Like most of India is like under like a few
Oh.
time zones, even though it's incredibly wide, and it's not hour differences. Sometimes like 30-minute differences.
Oh, that's weird.
It's strange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's I wouldn't. That's interesting. They left it a bit more continuous. They staggered the intervals shorter.
Yeah.
And
So it's technically more accurate, but like that makes it
Isn't Russia
confusing.
one time zone, or am I tripping?
I don't know.
I thought there was some crazy wide country that is one time zone, which makes no
Damn.
sense.
yeah.
That makes no sense at
How
all
would
because
that
Russia
work?
is enormous.
I
and
know.
that would just mean that's.
Boys, I
'Cause,
want
dude,
to.
imagine if like California,
Well, I guess it's pretty narrow and
it
it's
just would
vertical.
be so different because then California is 3 hours earlier, or right earlier or late. Wait,
behind us. Yeah.
yeah, earlier. So
PST.
earlier. So
See-
then, right now it would be so when it's like 1 o'clock in the morning here, California would be 10, but if it was one time zone, it would just be 1.
In California as well.
Oh.
Yeah, if it was one time, like the
Yeah.
Russia thing, and Russia would be there'd be times that would just be I don't even know, whatever. I don't feel like thinking
Boys,
about
here's I think it's a great question, but it could be a little silly. What is the quickest way to kill an hour versus the slowest way to kill an hour?
oh, dude, there's
My-
many ways.
my-
That's funny.
My answer to this would be just immediately, quickest way to kill an hour. You've got a test at 9:30. You wake up at 8. It's like no time, and you gotta leave for the house. Yeah, when you have a deadline set or you have something set in time, say it's at 10 a.m. and you're cramming stuff before, I think that kills time.
That's a good point.
Slowest way to kill time for me is the sauna.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
because
That's slow to you?
yeah, it's just so well, unless you're talking to someone, it goes by a lot faster. But when you're suffering alone, dude, you stand dude, yeah, you stand up, bro, and I wipe the door, 1 minute passed, dang.
That's so funny that the sun is suffering you.
Yeah.
But you spend so long in there.
Yeah. Dude,
That's
and
good.
yeah. That's the part of just putting yourself in uncomfortable situations. Like literally, you're pretty uncomfortable. You're sweating your balls off. Yeah. What anything come to mind to y'all for
Best way, weed. Worst way is like to do a plank, bro. If you had
Oh
to
my
do plank
gosh.
for an hour,
Yeah.
that would be
No
the
way.
longest hour ever.
Wow.
Dude, I feel like the worst, slowest way to spend an hour is if you're trying to fall asleep in bed and you're rolling around.
Oh my
It's the middle of the
gosh.
night.
Dude, I've had that like little recently. I just remember it felt like hours I was just tossing and turning.
And it's
bro.
been like 15
Yeah.
minutes.
Bro, rediscovered a great trick for myself.
What's that?
It's white noise.
Oh,
Like
nice.
white
Interesting.
noise. I mean, especially when Harry's yelling on the phone.
Yeah.
But like white noise
Dude, I just do earplugs
gives me like something subconsciously
if
to think
it's
about.
noisy.
It's weird.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, did Harry? Is his phone really messed up? Is that?
He got a new one, but yeah, it
Uh-oh.
was.
Okay.
Mine was.
Yeah,
I
his-
got my
I was
screen
confused.
replaced.
Who was who?
No,
but
both of
phones.
them.
Yeah, mine
Yeah.
was all messed up, but I got the screen replaced. It was all blacked
Oh, you
out and
did?
stuff.
No way.
Yeah, it was like it had all these.
Dude, I was
Dead pixels on
concerned
it.
about like calling or texting you amidst this. Like, is he even gonna like be able to see this? He's
Yeah.
gonna look like a fool trying to read it. No. Yeah, that is too funny, bro.
He had it like that for like multiple weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, I was reluctant to get it fixed, but I
Champ,
eventually,
bro.
I had to.
One little
Couldn't
line
use
of
it.
vision where you
I
can
could,
see the text.
dude. Yeah, I had to like scroll to the side and like swipe up to read. It was pain.
Hey
It was
man,
pain.
that's definition of make do with what you got.
Yeah.
Dude, and Harry's phone was even worse. His speaker didn't work. He couldn't call. Couldn't watch videos. He couldn't listen to music. His microphone didn't work.
Wait, his external speakers didn't work.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh wait, he got a new phone.
But he
Period.
could wait.
Yeah, he
could
just
he
got a new
pu-
phone.
could he
Okay.
plug in headphones though?
So he
But the
did.
microphone didn't work.
He did plug in headphones with microphone that worked, but that he had like those, and then it broke. So he
And
had a new
just
one.
this would work, but the mic didn't work, so he couldn't call.
Yes.
Ah. So then, if he wanted to do
Tough.
anything, he had to plug in these shitty headphones and.
The problem for me is the alarm. If I'm not
Yeah.
waking up for class in time,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
screwed. And he couldn't have an alarm. It's
It
like
sucks.
I would just
Keep
get
you
a
on
new
edge,
phone.
keep you
Dang.
frosty. Yeah.
He's like, I mean, he's got like 11, 12 p.m. classes.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Sure,
yeah.
he'll be all right.
Did
Yeah.
you get like a alarm
Y'all,
clock?
y'all still use alarms?
I do, yeah.
Okay. me
On like
too.
my 8 a.m. days.
Sure, me too. Me too.
I use an alarm.
But I noticed I've been waking up a lot earlier. When you wake up a certain amount of days in a row with an alarm, you start to wake up before the alarm.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And like that's part of the circadian rhythm.
Yes.
I love the way the body works, bro.
Yeah.
That is just, and look, I like to take little power naps in the day. If I'm got a long day, I need a quick little rest before I study. I'll set those. I read somewhere the most optimal power nap is 25 minutes.
Yeah, I've read that too.
Yeah.
Really?
Something like that.
I thought the most optimal nap, I guess not power nap, it would just be nap, is 90 minutes because that's one complete
REM
sleep
cycle.
cycle. Yeah.
Oh.
That I
From
heard.
REM to stage 4 back to REM.
I thought it takes like a few hours to get into REM. So it's actually not helpful to do 90 minutes as just a one phase nap. But if you're doing, like, have you heard of biphasic
Maybe it changed
sleep?
because I remember learning that like probably 6 years ago. Who knows? Could have changed. Dude, sleep studies are always changing. They're
I know.
always gaining new
But
data on it.
No, about that 25-minute nap, I'll set the alarm, or I'm sorry, the timer, go on to bed, and usually I'll just know when it's coming up on that 25 minutes. Like,
The human body.
yeah.
Dude, that's funny because
Crazy.
I used to, when I was working full time as a cook, I would get up and I have to go to work early and I'd be working so hard all day in this hot kitchen and I'd
Yeah.
be so tired. I'd get home and I'd be like, I'm going to work out, but I'm so tired right now. I'm going to take a 20-minute nap. And I started taking 20-minute naps. It'd be like, I'd tell myself I'm going to meditate, but then I'd just meditate and fall asleep for
Yeah.
20 minutes. And I never used an alarm. I always would check my phone. And about 90% of the time, it would be on the dot 20 minutes, on the dot.
crap.
Because I was doing it every day for so long, on the dot. I'd check and it would be exactly 20 minutes.
Wow.
And then the other times, the other 10%, other 9%, it was probably within 1 minute. And then that extra 1% was within maybe 2 or 3 minutes.
Dude, that's risky. Risky.
No, dude, I was
Trying
like,
to take a nap right before bedtime. Like,
Oh,
I swear,
wow.
no,
You
because
could be
I
out
wouldn't.
for
I wouldn't lay down.
14
The thing is,
hours.
I would sit up and do it. So I'd fall asleep, but I'd be sitting up, and I was kind of meditating, but I would be dreaming also because I was so tired that I would semi fall asleep. So I would be having these semi lucid, just aware dreams.
yeah.
They weren't necessarily lucid, but I was aware of them, and I was aware that I was sleeping, or I was aware that I was dreaming, but I was still kind of awake. And so I just was so tired during these days, dude.
Yes.
Full time is crazy. Full time manual labor.
Dude, it is. Hats off to the blue collars out there.
Man, one more thing about sleep. Love it. We all love it, obviously. But I've noticed, like, say you have a test at 9 a.m., you're studying until 3, say you get 5 hours of sleep. Sometimes you wake up less tired with like 5 hours of sleep versus like, I don't know, 6 or 7.
Yeah.
My point is like,
I was
it
just
has
looking that up the
something
other
to do
day.
with deep sleep and whatnot. But I find it so funny. Human body will keep you energized based off just very little amount of
That's
sleep.
funny because I was looking up. Might have even been today or yesterday. It's yesterday or today because I just was so curious. I looked up on the internet. I just looked up, why does being sleep deprived sometimes make me happier? Because I realized sometimes I'm in a better mood on days where I
I've
get less
noticed
sleep.
that.
And so I was just confused. I was like, how does that work? Sometimes I'll get 8 solid hours of sleep and I'll just be in a shitty mood all day. Or not all day, but just much more susceptible to a shitty mood, easier to fall into it.
Wow.
And I looked it up and it actually is true that when you're sleep deprived, your body starts it can trigger your body to stimulate the release of more dopamine in your brain. And I guess to
Wow.
keep you going. I don't know. And I thought that was so fascinating. I was like, wouldn't that be? I thought it would be the opposite.
Yeah.
But obviously, if you're sleep deprived for long enough, you deplete your resources, and there's none left to whatever to release. And then
Right.
you start hallucinating because your brain just starts, who knows, a bunch of weird stuff happens when you're sleep deprived. Your neurotransmitters can't replenish, and something gets clogged because
Yeah.
people who are sleep deprived will have wacky hallucinations.
I thought a
No
big
joke.
factor was there's like a delay in bad sleep. So like if you got good sleep yesterday but you get bad sleep today, you probably won't feel the effects of the bad sleep until tomorrow or 2 days in advance. You'll be reaping the rewards
Yeah.
of getting that like 9 or 8 hours.
And I think sleep
yesterday.
deprivation is one of those things that is really has effects when it's compounded also. If you get one day of bad sleep, it usually doesn't affect you.
Yes.
But the more you do it, it'll compound and get worse and worse. And then it takes usually, I think if you're very sleep deprived, it takes like a week, so like to start getting balanced back out. Because
Yeah.
then your body, when you start sleeping again, will get REM rebound, and then you're not getting proper deep sleep. And so it has to like level back off. It's like the needle goes real low and then jumps real high and has to bounce up and down to find the sweet spot again. It's like,
Sleep is such an interesting area, and I feel like we still don't know that much about it.
Man, do we offer a major
Yeah.
for the
Dude,
study of
especially
sleep?
Dreams.
No way, do we?
dreams
No,
are so
I'm asking,
fascinating.
do
We should.
Yeah.
It's
if
probably
you were to
some niche study within neuroscience.
Yeah.
Oh,
You could
okay.
be
I was gonna
a
ask.
sleep pathologist, or you could study very specific sleeping disorders as your
Dissertation or something.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I was gonna ask, what would you have to study to say, yeah, I want to study sleep?
Yeah, something in the psychology department.
Sure.
That would make sense.
Wow.
Dreaming is also fascinating.
Oh
my
yeah,
right?
gosh.
I love dreaming. It's, 'cause
Love
it's-
it, bro.
dude. It's so interesting.
It's
There's-
just so random
I know
to the
right?
conscious mind, but it probably makes perfect sense to the subconscious.
But also the
there-
fact that it's like a simulated reality that you feel like you're in. Sometimes you're even aware you're in it, but it feels real.
Yes.
You can. It's
So real.
So then sometimes you wonder. I think Joe Rogan says this, which I think is a great thought, but I wonder if when I wake up, it's still just a dream, but a more persistent one. You know?
that would be like the belief that we're in a simulation.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which I love that theory, though. For some reason, I don't find it disturbing. I love the simulation hypothesis. There's this Rishwan Virk, I think is his name.
You told me about him.
Yeah, he wrote this book, and he was on Joe Rogan's podcast. He's this computer scientist, and he wrote this book on the simulation hypothesis. But the podcast is really good. He talks about why he thinks that we could be in a simulation, and the similarities between video games and real life, and
Wow.
and I find for some reason I find comfort in it almost. It's not. Some people might think it would be disturbing to think that, but the way he puts it is, it's fun. It's a fun idea.
Wow.
Yeah, because I mean, some people could be concerned that there's no free will if we're in a
Yeah.
simulation.
No, he's not like, he has the idea that there is free will.
Yeah.
So there's multiple simulation theories, I guess. One is that if this was a video game, and it was like GTA 5 or something, say you have free will and you're just logging into this avatar. But there's others where it's like, this could be a simulation, but what if it's just a AI computer generated model, kind of like the way we run simulations to figure out the weather patterns. We run many simulations to determine what's happening. Then it would be like, am I just numbers? Am I just a cog in a machine?
Like,
Just-
are we the NPCs or are we the main character?
Yeah, am I just part of an algorithm that's churning out data for somebody's statistical model? You know?
Right.
Like
I think Elon Musk
Yes.
believes in some crazy percentage that we are in a simulation. Like more
Yeah.
than
Yeah.
more than 50 or something.
That was
Yeah,
the
he
first
says
time I
there's-
heard about it.
Yeah.
he says
Wow.
he's got the chance that we are in a simulation is the odds are vastly higher, he
Yeah.
thinks, because I believe his reasoning is that The idea is there could be one base reality, but then within that base reality, if you can create a simulation that simulates that base reality identical to the point where the entities within it believe that they are within a simulation, if you can do that, then that means that they can then create their own simulation, and they create theirs and keep going. You can create billions of simulations, and then the odds that you are in one of these billion simulations, the odds that you are the base simulation is like one in infinite.
Right.
One in infinity. It's slim to zero, like slim to nothing. And versus the odds that you are in one of the billions or many, many other simulations that are a byproduct of the base simulation is way higher because there's so many more of them.
Right.
And they're not necessarily independent events because they all stem from the base simulation.
Does it matter to you if we're in a simulation or not?
No.
Okay.
Because it is
How
what
about
it is,
you?
you know?
It doesn't.
I'm still here.
I don't think it affects the way I live my life.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd have to say that too. But it's so stimulating to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if we are?
absolutely.
Dude, yeah, I love that theory. Because then, I mean, it doesn't, and the way he proposes it is that it doesn't go against what religions propose. He sort of finds the harmony between simulation theory and religions and says they actually coincide, and they could harmonize and create a better explanation for, like, they could play into one another. And I like how
Oh my
he
gosh,
combines
that is
those
so
elements.
stimulating, isn't it?
How
Like
would we know ever if we were in a simulation?
I guess
We would only
you would
know-
know only when you exit, or if somehow we found a way.
If there was a glitch.
Dude, yeah. If there was, I think that's what he goes on to. He might say that in his book that the only way to find out is if there was. How do you know if you're in the simulation? Is if there's some sort of glitch in the simulation, some sort of bug, and that bug can take form in. Well, it would have to be a crucial bug.
Yeah. Like,
but-
imagine if I just disappeared and you were just staring at me. Like, then, I mean, how would you change your lives? Like, what would you do?
I would just think
It
that
defies
if you just
all
disappeared in
physics
front
that
of
we
me,
know.
like if you just vanished
Yeah.
into thin air, what would I?
Yeah.
I would think that I would just, dude, your brain would come up with so many theories. I would think,
I know.
was he? I'd be like, who was he? I would probably get paranoid and be like, was he implemented by the CIA? Was he? What is this?
The
Like,
Matrix.
am I? Yeah, dude, I'd be like, did aliens do that? Because I don't think humans have the capability to do that. Or your brain would just start trying to explain it, trying to pick the Occam's razor. Like, what's the most logical explanation for this? Like, please just give me some clue because this is, it would drive you crazy.
Isn't that funny? Your first assumption would be, oh, that's a government creation.
Right? Right?
Like, dude, that
Well, when
just
humans are powerful, dude, what else? If that kind of stuff happens, you'd be like, what else can I attribute it to? I'd be like, I would also start thinking, what if, like, there'd have to be just an act of God? I don't even know. Like,
right.
what if, or you'd think he was in a simulation and somebody pulled the plug, or there was a glitch, or it would be,
Wow.
you would never know. That's why even if that did happen, it still wouldn't be proof because you just can't know from the inside.
Right.
Unless you literally you can find so many similarities though. You can go deep and figure out that, I mean, everything's just information, and that's what computers are. It's all just information, and you go deeper and deeper, and you figure out that it's just all modeled by tiny little vibrations that are either like up or down or what, I don't even know, like quarks or
Crazy.
starting to get unknown territory, but that's kind of just analogous to zeros and ones.
Right.
And like,
Binary.
it's just
Wow.
info. And mostly everything is empty space. That's something that really trips me out, is that atoms are like 99.99% empty space. Because where the mass is. The mass of an atom, the nucleus,
Right.
is like 99% empty space. And most of it is empty. So this table right here is mostly just empty space, but it's somehow manifesting because of the electron clouds that are vibrating fast enough to keep the illusion that it's, I don't even know,
That's
that it's sitting right
crazy.
here.
Empty space, huh?
It's so weird to think about.
And they're
Wow.
looking into like antimatter now.
Yeah, and that
Right?
stuff's trippy.
Have you
I don't
heard
know
of
too
that?
much about it, but I've looked into it before, and I think there's dark matter and dark energy. I don't remember which one's which. I think dark matter might be proposed as a theory for why galaxies maintain their spiral shape, and how the planets and stars that are so far away from the center of the galaxy are able to be held into the galaxy's pole and gravitational shape. And I think the idea is that there's areas where there's dark matter where gravity is stronger in these areas, or it might be that there was a theory, I don't know if this is the dark matter theory or not, but it was a theory for trying to explain why galaxies can hold their shape, and it's that gravity has some inversely proportional qualities, that the closer you get, the stronger gravity is, but then also the farther you get, it has like another pickup zone. Anyway, I can't explain it the way I first heard it. I thought I was going to be able to. But it's like you get far enough away from the source of a massive source of gravity, and it has like a second wave where it starts intense. You get far enough away, it starts intensifying again. I don't even know. I probably botched that really bad. I need some physicists to explain that to me.
What should I look up if I want to watch that?
I think probably somebody who's really good at explaining it is, what's that guy's name again?
Yeah, what is the astrophysicist?
Brian Cox is brilliant. He's explains a lot of black hole stuff, but there's this other dude. Let me look up his name real quick because I can't believe I think his name is Brian also maybe,
You ever seen the Truman Show?
Of course, bro. Of course. My first.
So Sean Carroll and I think Sean Carroll is actually who I was thinking of.
Okay.
Might be somebody else I'm trying to think of also. Oh, this guy. Brian Greene. There we go. I knew his name was Brian Greene is very smart.
Okay.
Dude, David, I can't even recall, like, even really thinking in the realm of simulation before watching The Truman Show. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
That definitely put it into perspective, I think, for a lot of people, too.
How possible it was.
Yeah.
How like commonplace it could be.
Yeah.
What, the simulation?
Do you know the Truman Show? The movie?
With,
I've never seen it.
what's
Jim
his name?
Carrey?
Yeah, Jim Carrey.
Heard of it, but I'm gonna
Oh, dude, that was...
I could spoil it, but
Dude, that is so funny how Hollywood kind of just shed light on that. It's not really something they would do nowadays, I think. Or no. I'm sorry. We like, for example, Netflix. There's some documentaries on, what's it called? Watch the World,
burn.
something like that. And it was like, I think it was produced by the Obamas or something.
Oh, dude, it was so bad. It was
Yeah,
so
yeah.
bad. It was about the end of the world.
Yeah.
I watched that, and it was one of the worst movies I'd ever seen.
And you know where the Teslas end up self-driving and
Yeah.
blockading like all the...
I thought it was gonna be better though, the way that movie ended. And did you see that movie?
Yes, I did.
Oh, did you enjoy it?
Leave the World Behind is what it's called, I think.
I've heard of
I
that.
remember I watched it with my mom, and I thought it was so bad because it was so slow.
I
and,
enjoyed it. I think
Yeah,
did
I got
enjoy it.
sucked into it, but I remember it just never got anywhere. I was like, it never gave any much, like, it didn't really give that much context. It was I wanted more of a action. I was
Sure.
my expectations were different,
Yes.
but
Those...
I've seen that.
Yes, those... A lot of Netflix films nowadays that are on the top 10 movies.
Like, I couldn't tell you what the climax was because it was very
Yeah, very... That's my point with a lot of Netflix films.
monodramatic, if that's a word. I don't know.
Films now within the past 10 years are a lot different than 20 years ago.
I've seen that movie.
Yes.
How about the Mission
Is
Impossible?
that the one with the ship that's
plane?
coming to
Yes.
the beach?
Yes.
And then
That
the
movie
plane crashes,
sucked.
and
Yep.
it sucked, right? Wait, do you remember?
I thought that was a Black Mirror episode for some reason.
Oh, dude, it totally could be a Black Mirror
What?
episode.
Black Mirror behaves in that way too.
It's just like these random dystopian situations.
And there's no real explanation for what's going on, and then it ends on just a loose foot. It's like, what? That's the ending?
Yeah, that's
The kid finds a movie theater and
I don't even
nothing.
remember that,
Like nothing happened. I don't know. Nothing really happened.
dude.
So-
There are some bad endings to some movies.
Yeah.
And there's the argument, oh, it's up for interpretation. No, I've seen some just bad
Yeah.
endings and
Dude,
Can I
bad
tell you-
plot lines.
Mission Impossible. I haven't watched those movies
I haven't
until
seen that.
recently, and I started watching them, but they are so entertaining. They suck me in because they're just the whole time they're just action on the edge of your seat, intense sort of thriller action movies. They're so great. I love them. I can't believe I never started watching them until probably 6 months ago is when I saw my first Mission Impossible. It was the newest one I saw. And then I was like, dude, that was great. I got to watch the first one. And I watched 3 of them total now. So
Very nice.
I haven't seen that.
some people don't like them because they're really action heavy, but that's what I like about it because
Is
they're
that Tom
very
Cruise or
stimulating.
no?
Yes, Tom Cruise.
Okay.
And you were gonna say something.
I was just wanting to give you guys a good word about a good movie I've seen
Let's hear it.
published recently. It's called American Fiction. Have you heard of it?
Heard of it, but I've never seen it.
No.
There's a lot of movies I've never seen. Not a
This
huge
is
movie
like a
person, but-
movie where I was like, that was actually a good movie, and it was published like last year.
Sure. What platform?
I watched it on I watched it on Prime.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Noted.
But there's these like illegal websites that like if
Sure.
I cannot find it, I will just use.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But basically,
Those websites are getting wiped out every day.
I know.
Yeah.
And by the day, dude, they're gone.
Back when you could actually look up 1, 2, 3 movies.
Dude,
and they would
I
actually
still
work.
do that occasionally
Really?
to see if it's up.
Does it? Is
Yes.
it? Really?
There's always multiple options.
And it'll work. huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Or if not, like
Decent.
movies 1, 2, 3.
Sure. Yes.
I would
Yes.
go to one of my parents have like all the streaming platforms, so I just go to one of them, and if they don't have it, usually you can rent it for $2, and I'll just do that if I
Sure.
really want to watch a movie. But I don't watch a lot of movies, so it's yeah, never really a thing that I do. Or, yeah, I don't know. I gotta watch more movies.
Sure.
Hmm.
I was thinking, I've already asked you guys, I think, but I don't remember. Have you seen Peaky Blinders, the show?
Not yet.
No.
Please watch it.
That dude's
I
in
loved it.
Oppenheimer.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
I started watching Oppenheimer. I can't say I was too thrilled.
Yeah, no,
Sure.
it's a slow one, but Peaky Blinders,
Oh, you watched it through. I told you to watch it.
Yes.
Right. It is pretty slow at first.
um
Watch through though. It's
Does
it's
it
a
pick
good
up or no?
cinematic
100%,
piece. I think it's
yeah.
well put together.
yeah.
It's
Cinematically, yeah, I love
Yeah.
that movie. But yeah.
it's good. I liked it.
The
But it's not like Mission Impossible though. Like
okay,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
much more
Yeah.
sit and
You've seen Mission Impossible?
Not really.
Okay.
My dad.
you
plenty
can compare
though.
it to, or
More
it's
an
not
action
like
guy.
it's just slower paced. Requires a bit of a more endurance to watch that one. But
Sure.
Peaky Blinders, I love
Definitely.
it so much. I thought it was honestly maybe even better than Breaking Bad.
Wow.
Oh,
yeah.
the only.
It's controversial, but I think
Wow.
I don't know if it's because of the time I watched it, and it was just the time of my life when I watched Peaky Blinders compared to Breaking Bad. I loved them both, but Peaky Blinders was just they're so different, but I loved it, dude. I don't know
Man,
why.
Speaking of Oppenheimer, you guys know that's 3-hour film, right?
Right.
And I'm thinking, what film is longer than 3 hours?
Probably Avatar.
Is it?
The Way of Water or something. It's a long
No,
one.
get this.
It's
A
a
lot of
Love that movie, though.
Italian mobster movies are like
Dude, yes.
4 hours
Godfather is like
Oh, yeah.
super long.
3.5. I don't know.
What about Titanic? That's a long one.
Is it?
It's probably
yeah.
2 something, I guess. But
Yeah, dude, 3 hours is pushing it.
I don't
for
know
a
if
movie.
that's right though. 3 hours is a long movie. That's like break it into 2.
Yes.
You could
I
make.
wonder how movie theaters prepare for 3-hour films. Like,
Movie theaters are in the fall, man.
you think?
Oh yeah.
I mean, I've seen new publications like the new Despicable Me movie or the Minions or
Yeah.
whatever. They only had it in theaters for 1 day because that's like the best way to
Yeah.
advertise a movie. Like you can only see it
Oh.
1 day in the movie
hype
theaters.
is
You
just
better go
different.
this
People
year.
used to,
Wow.
yeah. people will just stream it when at home, and it's
Yeah.
easier for the parents, it's easier for the kids,
Right.
100%.
and the kids prefer it now
It's-
because
Look,
they can just be on their iPads and what they. That's yeah.
Oh my gosh! Now that I'm
But-
thinking about it, you're very correct on that because back then we'd probably go to the movie theaters maybe 2-3 times a year. Now it's like once every other year.
I
for-
know.
For like
And
a
even
really
then,
good film.
Back when our parents were kids, they went to the movie theater probably way more often than
Yeah.
that also because you couldn't watch movies otherwise. And when we were kids, there was no television. You have to go to a movie if you wanted to see some good films because there wasn't good TV back then. But yeah, then when we were younger, it was maybe a couple times a year.
Yeah,
And they were always good memories, dude.
absolutely.
Dude, especially going with your friends
yes.
when you get your driver's license and you guys go to the movies for the first time. That was always so
the
fun.
token of a movie theater. The last movie I saw in theaters, dude. Were y'all able to see Deadpool versus Wolverine?
No.
No, but it sounds good.
Look,
I didn't even know that was a movie.
I hate to be, dude. If you have the chance, watch it tonight. You have Prime. I'm sure you can rent it for $5, dude. The soundtrack on that movie. I told y'all about what I sang in the sauna. That song, "Like a Prayer" from Madonna, is what I sang. Dude, the soundtrack. I'm getting chills thinking about it, bro. Some of these scenes, it just it mixed. It mixed a younger crowd with an older crowd of their type of music.
That's cool.
And I'm able to enjoy it. Like, it's so badass, bro.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You haven't watched it either?
No.
Dude, you gotta watch it, man. And I don't care if you guys aren't Marvel
I really,
guys.
yeah, I never
This
watched
is
many
such-
Marvel movies, but when
Dude,
I do,
you would be laughing
I enjoy
your
them.
ass off, bro. You know what fourth wall breaks are?
No.
So
It's where you directly look
Yeah.
at the camera and address the
Yeah,
audience.
like-
Oh,
You
that
broke the fourth
I
wall.
watched the original Deadpool.
Deadpool does- yeah,
he
he
does
does.
that in that one.
yes, this is filled with them and pop culture references, talking crap on Disney.
That's
and
hilarious.
Fox. It's such a good film, bro. So much so I watched it twice in theaters.
Whoa.
Like, and that takes a lot. I only watched it twice because I just wanted to see my other friends' reactions
Yeah.
to it. Like, I love it, bro.
dude, it's like showing memes.
I
but
know.
Extreme long form.
Yeah,
You're like,
damn.
you get the same sort of fulfillment being able to smile together.
Get this, bro. There's this one. I'm gonna show it to you, or maybe that'd spoil it. I literally went back. Another reason I went back to watch the second time was, don't tell anyone this, to record one certain scene from the movie.
Are you not allowed to?
No,
Why not?
That's piracy.
Yeah, but
Isn't it only if you
how long is
publish
the
it?
video?
Oh yeah, good point.
Wait, what?
I mean,
You
Well,
can't republish.
Oh, yeah,
right,
it,
right.
But you can like.
but dude, I wanted to get this.
It'd be copyright if you posted it.
I wanted to get this
And,
clip for my own personal use, bro, when this movie hasn't been released. It's such a good scene, bro. I just had to get it on film.
If I
bro.
watch it, I'll ask you about it.
How long
Yeah,
is the clip?
I want you to guess. It's probably 2 minutes.
Okay.
That's funny
So cool, bro.
that you like went back with the intention
Yeah.
of taking a video of the
Yes,
specific
yes.
scene.
And my
That's
buddy's
great.
what are you doing? Like, dude, just let me enjoy this. Like, wow.
Have you guys seen
Go
Top
watch
Gun?
that.
No,
The new
I,
one.
I
The
haven't
new one.
seen
I
that.
actually really enjoyed that. I didn't want to, but I ended up just going with my parents when it. I don't know, not long after it came out. I enjoyed that though. It was a good one. Were you about to say something?
I was gonna say that movie theaters have fallen into the subscription-based platform.
Really?
Yes.
I mean, I know AMC has like a monthly fee, and you can watch however many movies you want.
Oh.
They
And
need it.
I
for
mean,
us
yeah,
anyways.
the subscription is taking over. The monthly paid subscription is just like on every platform now because that's just the best way to make recurring
Dude, it's
money.
like the last ditch
Wow.
effort though. It seems like they're gonna die
Yeah.
out like Blockbuster did.
Dude,
Yes.
it's a lot of space to be occupying.
Right.
And to they have to have air conditioning through the whole thing, right? Like,
Yeah,
this is it's a
electricity,
lot of
air
space
High
to
energy
be.
cost.
And dude, you could be 1 or 2 people in this big theater room that's intended for 100 people. It's not reaching its full use anymore. Yeah.
One of my favorite experiences here, the video game club got the
In
movie
Railroad
theater.
Square?
No, it was in the student cinema.
Okay. different. Yes.
We were playing Nintendo Switch. We were playing Mario Kart on a movie theater
No way.
screen. It was amazing.
Wow.
Like if they did that, if they implemented
Oh.
new features for movie theaters, like there's so many use cases for an enormous projector.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Watch the football game.
Sports,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah,
Boom.
sports.
Super Bowl, great
Yes.
place to host a Super Bowl party.
Wow.
Yeah. You'd have to like
Oh, they need to-
redo
yeah,
the seating.
Yeah,
but
yeah. I was gonna say you'd have to set it up.
I
a
like
little
Make it
tables
more
and
like
stuff.
they
Dude,
just would
you're
turn into
thinking ahead,
clubs.
bro.
Put a
dude.
bar in there, dude.
That's
You're
huge.
set.
They turn into club rooms.
That'd be fun. Yeah.
You get like a DJ at the front or like a bar or something, and like, yeah, dude, I could see that.
Dude, that's so funny because does your complex have a movie theater?
Does yours?
Yeah. All
Onyx did,
all of
remember?
the 3 ones I've lived in have had a home theater.
Don't think so.
Of them?
Yeah, all
gotta
three
take
all 3
me.
that I've yeah. It's pretty cool. It's not like I'm sorry.
No, it's not like a movie.
Yeah,
theater.
yeah,
I
yeah,
get that.
but-
It's small, personal.
Yeah, yeah,
I've
yeah.
seen one at Onyx, and I
It's like very common.
know what they're like. They have
Dude, that's amazing.
And the funny part is, just like
Comfy
the movie
seats.
theater, no one really uses them because, like,
How do you get your stuff hooked up on there?
I'm sure there's a master remote that you're gonna have to log into your Netflix, or
Okay.
maybe someone left. their
They don't
Netflix.
have like access to all the movies.
some HDMI
I mean,
you have to bring, and
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
could bring maybe some capture card. I don't even know.
Sure. Yeah.
Or not capture.
Oh, but you could like
card,
study for a test on this huge.
Oh, yeah,
that'd be
yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
You could
Group study session.
Yeah.
film a lecture.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, dude.
Today,
Speaking
class,
of-
we're gonna be talking about photosynthesis.
No, my bio teacher is actually cool.
Yeah,
Man.
the bio teachers are usually pretty chill,
Thomas.
from my experience. Except
Man.
for my high school bio teacher, Mr. Lyons. Do you remember him?
Yes,
Not chill, but I liked him. He was a good teacher.
man. On the topic of unused space, if it's not movie theaters, bro, it's commercial buildings. Malls are going out of business, obviously.
Yeah.
And just commercial offices. There's like neighborhoods of buildings that there's no cars out front on a weekday. This is where people used to work and whatnot. I want to play part in finding use in these buildings or tearing them down, putting some better. I don't know. I hate to see stuff go unused.
Just an apartment complex will be built there.
Yeah.
Somebody will buy it out, build an apartment complex.
Yeah.
That's what's gonna happen
Yeah.
probably. They'll just build housing,
Yeah, because that's actually usable.
and but I think it would be cool though, like you were saying, if it could be reused in some sort of community way. Or,
Oh, even better. Yeah, so
Well, to talk about corporations and like,
We need more houses and less apartments, dude. The housing market needs to get better.
yeah, but is more
Oh.
houses gonna help, or is it just gonna be the same big companies buying it and selling it?
Probably, dude. I don't know. The housing market is not good these days, though. It's looking really not good for our generation.
Do you know about BlackRock? Have you heard of this?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Well, I was gonna say about corporations. Like during COVID, everybody was working at home, and then these larger companies like Google and Tesla are like, we're having our employees come back, and so everybody else is following along. But then all the workers are saying we're actually more productive at home when we don't have to commute, when we don't have these distractions going on in the office, And
Yeah, they're happier and more productive.
yes, so it's like, why would you make them come back to the office? Well, because they already own the building and they want to make use of the building, like you were saying. And it's also
Right.
because they think
They gotta have like a headquarters or something.
like better for the stock, like some random stuff when it's actually not entirely true to the people that create the company, the workers of the company.
yes.
And it's good to have options, because then if they needed people to come in, if something happened, they would have the option,
Yeah.
Whereas if they got rid of it, then they would be like almost, I don't even know, independent. It'd feel like contracting or something. It'd feel weird. Because yeah, that'd be very weird if it was purely online. But I also think there's I remember reading about Yahoo during the COVID thing.
Yahoo's still a thing.
They did the remote
Moreover,
thing.
is Bing still a thing? Is Bing still a thing?
Dude, Bing. I think Bing is even probably doing better than Yahoo.
Bing's
I don't
got
know.
that AI thing.
I think Yahoo came before Google. I
that
think,
seems
Yahoo's not
reasonable.
and then what happened with Google is
They were gonna sell.
what was that? It I was
Yahoo's gonna buy Google for like $1
Really?
million or
Really?
something.
I was gonna say Google like saw how Yahoo was doing this for a couple of years. They took their product and made it better,
Yes.
and now the most Yahooed thing is Google, or the most like
That is
like
funny.
yeah, dude.
That is funny.
If you have your like deep man,
Get me off of this garbage search engine.
man, if your default browser is Microsoft Edge, like
oh my god.
come on, man.
I mean, that's like,
Microsoft Edge.
Yeah, dude, that's
Who
funny.
uses that?
It's the people who
I
don't
need
know how
somebody
to
to tell me
download
because I
Chrome.
don't think they exist out there.
well, yeah, Windows are huge. Window devices are huge,
Yes.
and that's just the default browser.
Yes.
And they dude,
Yes.
that's I hate how.
And it's not even that it does anything remotely different from Chrome,
Right.
but it's just you like something familiar, and also I think Google Chrome just looks cleaner, more
Yeah,
natural.
I agree.
Yeah.
Google was under fire, I thought, recently for, because I mean, yeah, the best thing that they did was figure out how to optimize the search engine. There were all these results. They figured out how do we show the user what they actually want to click on. But then recently they were under fire for promoting that what people were paying for. So like if the companies could pay Google to show them a result that wasn't directly what the user wanted to see, but because they were paying Google more, Google would promote that, which like makes sense for profitability, but
Sure.
doesn't make sense for the best user experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But Yahoo, I think also during the COVID pandemic thing, they went remote. And then when it came back, when the COVID, like when remote was no longer needed, I'm pretty sure Yahoo, they ended up getting a new executive or something, new CEO or something like that. And she changed it so that everybody had to come back in person
Yeah.
because productivity was going down or it just wasn't looking that good.
Oh, so
And
Okay.
people, there was like backlash. They didn't want to go back. And
Dude, tell me if y'all remember this.
I remember having to write a paper on it about whether her choice was ethical or not.
what'd you write?
I wrote that her choice was ethical because it's business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I kind of got into it about how, it was, I don't know, it wasn't really anything crazy. I just said that if she saw, I don't know, I just bullshit my way through the paper, honestly. I didn't really hold a passionate opinion about it.
Yeah.
So look, me and my cousin would be over at my grandma's house. He's from Orlando. Grandma lives in Jacksonville. When he finally comes out of town to Jacksonville, we'd be on my grandma's computer and we launch, her browser. Do you guys recall MSN.com? MSN?
It sounds familiar.
It's like, we'll look it up right now. It would basically just be like, your default page when you open it, have some news articles on it.
Yeah.
And I just kind of liked seeing, oh, there's some news here, this and that. My dad ends up telling me like, dude, you don't want to, it's not reliable information. You don't want to be on there. And I was very young at the time. It'd be very just weird stuff. But besides that, do you guys recall Flash games?
Yes.
When
Like
like
cool math games.
cool math games, miniclip.com.
Yeah.
There used to be this thing called friv.com.
I haven't heard of that one.
Dude, you look up these websites now, bro, they have like 5 games you can play.
What?
But I remember there used to be literally 100, 200
Yeah,
games
dude.
on one website, and they took that away, my friend.
Wow.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't know about that. I
There
thought
used to
they
be
just...
such, dude, I loved that. We go to the computer lab and I was always just on cool math.
Yeah.
And I loved
Yes.
how they had the mouse icon was you moving around and it was this trail of, it was like a bungee trail of mouses trailing behind it.
don't
It was like a
recall that, but
slinky
that's-
mouse. Like you'd move the
Oh,
mouse
that's cool.
and it'd be like
That is-
boing. It was like a slinky. If
That's-
you saw it, you would remember
Yes,
it.
okay.
I know you would.
Good. That's just the token of old electronics. Yeah, dude, that is so cool, bro.
Yeah, they like the browser stopped using Flash, right?
Yes.
But I thought that those companies just like recreated their games using whatever the browser wanted.
um
That's interesting that they decreased their game count. Like,
by a substantial amount. I don't even think it'd be very hard to even find or play these games again
wow.
that you once played.
Do you remember this? Did you ever play like Soccer Heads or something like that?
Head
course,
soccer.
yeah.
Head Soccer.
Yes,
And
on the
you-
phone.
There was before the phone. It was on a computer,
Okay.
and it was that's where I think I remember first playing it on a computer at least. Or there was basketball. So dude,
I've played the basketball one too.
that was so fun. You get with two people on the computer, and you both would be on each side of the keyboard, playing against each other.
Do you know Fireboy and Water Girl?
Yes,
course.
dude,
That
was
one
great.
was a staple.
That goes even
Yes.
farther back.
Look, the more popular games like that they've kept around,
Obviously.
but like the more niche the
Impossible
more
game?
niche games that you and your cousin would be searching for, like, oh, this game's actually fun.
Dude, how about
Hard to find those.
Do you remember the Impossible game where you were that square going through the
yes,
mazes?
that was
course.
actually called the Impossible.
I love that
Yeah.
game, dude. And then there was also
There was like
bricks,
Papa's-
or there was the brick game where you're this
Bloxers.
brick and you keep
Bloxers.
rolling around trying to get into the hole.
That
Do you know Skater Girl?
Bloxers.
The one where you're, or no, it's called Run. But you're like,
of course. I
You're the
played that
space
the other
dude
day.
running
They
on the
still have
wall.
that.
yeah.
You on these different they'll like change directions and
Yeah.
that was a good one.
And then, I mean, obviously Papa's Freezeria,
yes.
Pizzeria, Burgeria,
Yeah.
bunch of. And then there was.
I can't believe we all know these games.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Like, I
So
haven't touched
funny.
this thing in a decade at
Yeah.
least.
Same.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
What were other I'm trying to think of OG ones.
Oh, you
back
know,
with
there's a
blocks.
website out there that keeps archives of what the website used to look like.
Archive.org,
Is that it?
isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. but-
Archive. That's funny you've heard of it.
No, that's like where I get
It is
most of my
just called
textbooks from.
Really?
Archive.
Dude, yeah, they have everything on there.
Dude, we look up Miniclip, what it used to be like. We could find the name of some of these games. Or we're like, oh, that one. Like,
Yes,
Yeah,
there was
dude.
some stick man. There was like battle
Oh.
boats. Remember battle boats?
of course,
No.
with the stat and
The
the, sun.
babies and the-
I don't know
Yeah.
what that is.
That
You'd be
was
shooting
fun.
tennis balls at
Yep.
the dudes on
At the
shore.
pirates or whatever. Yeah, that was fun, bro. Oh my god.
And then was there a tank game where you were shooting? I think you aimed out and you try to shoot like
So it was
little
like an
missiles.
Yes.
eagle eye view, correct?
I have no
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah. Wow.
There's one on Wii.
Dude, that tanks on
that
Wii was
one was
so
incredible.
fun. You move around and you hear the noises of the wheels like
Oh,
making the I can remember
that
the-
was.
like-
I
And you,
believe
like-
that's We Play.
Yes.
We Play.
yeah,
Yes.
it was not Wii Sports. It was
You
Wii.
like
We
hear
play.
the
We
missile moving, and it's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that was fun.
Dude, bring me back, my friend.
That was so
Okay,
fun.
my earliest memory of the Wii is that I had this yoga mat or this board.
I
Yeah,
remember.
I remember
what
that
it is?
thing.
The balance board or whatever.
My brother must have been,
You were like
10 years
tightroping
old.
or something.
dude. He steps on there. It's like, you're very obese. He's 10 years old. It's like, what? And now
Oh, they would tell you that.
Yes.
That's right.
there was like this game that you could play, and it would
We Fit.
yeah,
I
it would
believe.
like tell you your BMI or something.
Yeah.
Fit. I
I
remember
had no
We
idea.
Fit.
what
You
that
put in
was.
your height, you put in your weight, you put in your age.
And
I remember being told I was fat too.
that must have been a core memory for
Wee,
him
bro.
because
The
he thinks about that
Japanese-
so much.
Are you serious?
Like,
wow.
He
his
what?
weight is a very big part of his
Wait,
life.
wait, I missed that part.
It must have been a core memory for him. Like, we talk about that experience a lot.
Really? Did that like
Wow.
hit deep on him when he was a
Dude,
kid?
yeah. I mean, he like struggles with his body image. You know, he struggles with
Yeah,
nutrition.
I mean, I
and
guess
stuff.
I could see it when you're a kid and you're seeing
Mm.
that you're obese. That it's definitely will make you self-conscious.
Wow.
But
Yeah.
Well, dude,
I think that it was in in good spirits. So I think they were trying to maybe encourage people. I don't think they were trying to shame people.
I could
get
see
get
that.
this.
I
Get
could see
this. The Wii was manufactured by, Asian companies.
It's Nintendo, isn't it?
Japan, yeah.
Nintendo.
Oh, okay.
It's Japanese.
Typically, I want to say they're less obese over in Asia.
Yeah.
Right? So it would just be normal to say,
Ha!
"Oh, you're in this classification.
Yeah.
Let's work toward
the way cultures
correcting
and
that.
languages transfer, it
Yeah.
probably felt it's a very American thing to
Be obese.
be obese and to also take to take it.
Oh my god.
No, because that's not a minority anymore. Like,
No, it is. No.
obese is the majority.
It is.
unfortunately.
It's-
but like,
It's unfortunate.
yeah,
But yeah, it's I don't think they were trying to shame people. And I think it also is it wasn't necessarily I don't know actually. Yeah, I don't think they were trying to shame people.
yeah, I don't think it was
Trying
intentional.
to maybe raise
Sure.
awareness and get people to be more active and run on their little machine.
Yeah, I remember that. I
I
mean,
know.
there was like Pilates on there, dude.
Yeah.
Just Dance.
I
Yeah.
played Just Dance.
Y'all remember Just Dance?
Yeah.
Dude. Gotta
How
love
about
Just
Rock
Dance.
Band?
Are you
Did
kidding?
you guys ever have that?
Dude, that's what inspired me to become a percussion player.
Really?
in
I
the
loved
band.
the drums on Rock Band. It was
I
my
love
favorite.
the drums.
It was the only thing I did, and then it's funny because I learned how to play guitar really well later
No
on
way.
after that.
My
But
brother played guitar. I just loved that to him.
I was bad at the guitar on Rock Band, but then now, years later, I got decent at the guitar. I put a lot of hours into it though, and then the drums. I always have had a natural rhythm for just. Some people get on the drums and they can't do anything. They just so unrhythmed, and I don't blame them because if you never do it, then it's hard to have rhythm in parts of your body that you don't practice. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of innate skill
Yeah.
when it comes to music, particularly. Like, a lot of people are just born with it.
But
and some people are
drums,
born
like
without it.
rhythm especially, like
Rhythm,
you either
yeah.
have rhythm or don't. You can gain rhythm, but
The greats
yeah,
just
dude,
have
drums
it.
are yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, no, it's very important you start playing an instrument when you're young, start a sport when you're young. I mean, yeah, now we can pick up pickleball and other new hobbies, but
That's like a very
yeah.
easy sport to
Love
get into.
pickleball.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, the things you do when you're young though, they stick with
They
you.
stick with
You
you.
can take years off and go back to it, and it's like your nervous system was shaped for that thing in
That's-
some way where it just relearns it. It fits like a glove. You
That's
have
baseball
perfect
for me.
form. You don't even try to have perfect form. You just know how to do it. Like that's me in skateboarding. I can
Oh,
take
really?
so many years off skateboarding, go out there and skate for an hour a day for maybe 3 days, and I'll just get it back
Wow.
real quick.
That's muscle memory. I love
Yeah.
that.
It is. Like the first hour back, it's a little rough, practicing here and there, but then it comes back really fast.
Dude.
And I'm talking tricks. I can always skateboard.
Right.
I can go downhill, but the tricks are what take maybe a little bit to come back.
That's like skiing for me. Because, like, it's hard to ski every day, right? Especially living here. But I could, like, if we go for a ski trip, we'll go for like 3 or 4 days. And by the 4th day, I'm just like,
Yeah, you're shredding out there.
Yeah.
Wait.
Dude, I used to love bombing hills on my skateboard and just power sliding down them.
That's
And
so much
I
fun.
still love to. I just got to get new skate wheels because I cored my old ones and just never got new ones. And so I had just stopped sliding.
One more thing on the Wii.
Yes.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun,
Dude, I was obsessed with baseball.
The baseball Wii
Yeah.
game, that was fun, dude. I loved that one. The golf was
Yeah.
ahead of its time,
All
bro.
boxing.
Yes.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
I remember getting so frustrated with boxing. I'm crying,
Yeah.
just like trying to be the
Dude,
last
thinking back
dude.
there, the Wii Golf I think was probably ahead of its time, as in it was the most fleshed out program
Bowling too.
on the game. It was just think there were all these holes and each of them was designed differently. It just took probably a lot of data and code to write
Wow.
the golf mini game.
Yes, they had like wind speed
Yeah. It was
and
complicated.
different putters.
Yeah, it was ahead of its time, dude. All the other games were a bit more arcade-like and kind of explainable. The golf was like, were there 9 or 18 holes? I don't even know. 18 unique holes.
Yeah,
And each one, it was ahead of its time. It probably took them a long time. That probably took them the longest time to make the golf mini game out of all the others.
Man,
Would be my guess.
so obviously we all played Mario Kart.
of course.
Remember the little wheel attachment? they
Yeah.
had? My papa, he was really good. into video games and whatnot, he there used to be these extensions for it was all plastic, bro. An extension so you had like a baseball bat, a golf club, a tennis racket, all just
For
plastic.
Wii, right?
I had a
Yeah.
gun.
Yeah.
I had a bow and arrow one.
They had a steering wheel
Yeah.
for Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Okay,
of
that's the
course.
one Michael Reeves used
Oh, it is?
for the
Oh.
Vine scooter
Yeah.
car.
Yeah.
Is that crazy?
Wow.
Do you remember
Wow.
the nunchuck? This is making me want to
nunchuck,
play Super
yeah.
Mario Bros. So
What,
bad.
do you
Yeah.
go-
I
did-
want to go on.
Did you guys keep any of your old consoles?
Yeah.
Yes.
Luckily, okay,
Because
good.
GameStop
Good.
was gonna pay me like $5.
Yeah, good.
I think
Luckily,
I don't know if I still have my Xbox 360. My brother might have taken it and got rid of it, but
luckily, man,
I have some of the games and I have my Wii, I think.
Yeah, I kept,
Don't have my
I
old
kept
PlayStation
Wii.
2 though. Used to have a PS2 and just a PlayStation. Don't have those anymore.
Sure.
I guess
My-
my brother. I don't know why he pawns them because those are something that I would never. I'm like
Yes,
such
bro.
a. I was always such
No
a video
amount
game
of
kid.
money.
My brother wasn't.
What
And
kid you
so-
said?
I was such a video game. I loved
Okay.
technology. I was
Yeah.
always trying to like hack phones and whatnot when I was a kid.
Like
Jailbreak.
jailbreak.
Yeah.
Jailbreak the damn
and I loved
iPod.
video games and stuff. So I would never. I would never be the person to just pawn away
Good,
PS2
bro.
or old PlayStation.
I'm glad you
But my
realized
brother
that
was
young.
not. My brother was not like that, and so he did because I think it was his PlayStation. Anyway.
Sure.
I can't imagine he got much money for
No,
that.
he was
No.
like 16.
That's
he was 16
sad.
and probably got. He was like, dude, somebody will give me like $70 for
Yeah.
this.
No amount of money is gonna, be sufficient for all the memories made on that damn console.
Yeah,
My dad
Dude, I
was
loved
gifted the
PS2.
original Xbox
No way.
in like 2000 or something.
Really?
And that was like the first console my brother and I played on.
No way.
Yeah. We have so many good memories.
Remember
Yeah.
what games would have been on there?
Yeah, okay, the one you would know is the original FIFA.
Oh,
We played with like France because that's when like
Sure.
France and like Brazil were number 1 and 2.
awesome.
But there's this other one called Kabuki Warriors. If you say that to my brother, he will just fall in love with you.
Geek
He will just start laughing. I mean, we have so many good memories of that
Wow.
game. Yeah.
Kabuki
Do you
Warriors.
remember those controllers being kind of wonky?
No, they're the same as the current controllers.
Oh.
It's incredible.
Really?
The exact same design
Wow.
with the R and the second button as
Yes,
well.
the buttons and the triggers. Wow.
Yeah. What?
I may be thinking of. I just thought it was like big old clunky. I'm thinking more Nintendo 64.
Oh,
Like
Dude,
those.
Nintendo-
That's a
NES.
weird. It's like
I never
three-
owned one, but I played one a couple times, or maybe it was the GameCube. Wait, no, it was probably N64 because I was playing Super Smash Bros. And it was so much fun, dude.
Yeah.
It was the first time I ever played the game I'm thinking of right now. I was at this friend's house, and it blew my mind that was a video game. It was so fun.
Awesome.
have you seen the current competitions? There's like competitions
Smash
for
Bros?
the original Smash Bros.
Dude, yeah,
where people
on
just
the
come
GameCube
up with
also,
these
like-
combinations for like. I mean, they must put hours a day into.
Only
this
reason
thing.
I know about it is because of Ludwig. Because I'll sometimes tune into
Oh,
Ludwig. He's a streamer. He
yeah.
loves Smash Bros. Is what got him into streaming, I think. So he loves it. And sometimes I figured out he liked it, and then I looked into Smash Bros. A little bit and thought that was really fascinating. It's a small, tight, close knit community of Smash Bros. Enthusiasts.
What a great career if you can make it
Oh, dude.
a
yeah.
video game streamer.
I know,
mean,
dude.
Does it get better than that?
Especially a variety streamer where you're not just
Oh
playing
my
one game.
gosh.
He'll go on and be like, I'm just going to do type racers today. He'll log on to his computer and open up type racers where you're just literally racing people, typing out these sentences. It'll show it'll be like 3, 2, 1, go and show a sentence. And
I've
you'll
done
be,
that.
Yeah, you'll just be racing somebody. He's got a fast type rate. I don't have a fast type rate.
Me neither.
I make a bunch of mistakes also because I'll be trying to go
Yes.
quick. Best I get is like 60 words per minute, and that's good for me.
Dude, my mom can reach like 220.
I don't.
I mean,
Holy-
granted,
Because I have to look at the keys also, and I can't completely type without looking.
I think also like, did you have typing classes when you were
Of
in school?
course. Of course.
I think
And
I just took them for granted.
I think I did in
back then,
library,
bro?
but we did in the library a couple times, but I never paid attention, and we were never tested on it, and it was never a class.
dude.
But we were learned how you put your pointer here and end
Yes.
on the colon.
Home row.
Yeah,
Dude,
home.
get this.
Yeah.
I think a majority of people still just
Never used it though.
majority of people still just pecked at it
Yeah.
like this. But literally, the more you grow up and
The more you
I
type,
just
the better.
naturally just started
Yeah.
to type naturally.
No, my typing's gotten a lot quicker just because of I can credit programming to it because I'm typing all this code so much that you just start getting really quick at typing. And for me, quick is probably somebody else's slow.
Yeah.
I bet I could type code much quicker than sentences though. If somebody gave me a words per minute of typing code, I could probably get, even though there's not really words, so to speak, maybe characters per minute, but I could probably get a much faster rate than I would with sentences.
There is no mistakes to be made when writing code. Like
So
Right.
true.
you have to be very precise.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I'm a speed demon on the phone, dude. With my thumbs, I could go so fast, especially
think
with
we all are.
autocorrect. I mean,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
so
yeah.
helpful.
You can't be stopped.
Typing
Yeah.
on your phone with a touchscreen is what is really quick.
Wow.
And it's
can-
weird
Quicker
because
than the keyboard, maybe. Probably.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
did you guys have this thing in your typing class? It was like we called it jail, keyboard jail. It was basically a white and an orange
familiar.
cover, so you couldn't see the letters, and you would have to type over.
Oh.
No,
That
No.
reminds me though.
That sounds horrible.
In the library, they had these typing games. Not
library,
Not
dude.
not the school library, but my local library had SpongeBob typing.
what is that?
It was just a SpongeBob typing game, and you're placed in the Krabby
The Krusty Krab.
Krusty Krab. I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah. It's just a fun little game.
That's funny.
Yeah. Did you guys never? If you ever went to your local library, there'd be these cute little games you could play. I guess that's just me.
I don't
but
remember that.
Yeah.
I don't either because I never went to the local library
Sure.
that often.
Sure.
Oh man, my mom would take me, but I
have-
always took it for granted.
A
Yeah.
handful of memories of the library and always hated it because I really didn't like the library.
Really?
Yeah.
Well.
It was I liked though when I did go to the library. I liked the school library in elementary school. And in middle school.
Pop Tropico.
I liked school libraries. Oh yeah. But I always
Never
would
give
go
up.
to as a kid, I always would go to the books with animals and just read about the animals and look at the pictures.
Yeah.
They'd be these white books with a cover on it and it would be sort of a sciencey book.
Yes.
And those were my go-to. I loved those
Awesome.
books.
Awesome.
I would check those out every time we went to the. I get dinosaur fossil books sometimes, and now I think about it, that's where those are some of my core pure interests that I formed as a kid,
Oh.
just purely out of without even thinking about it. That's what I was drawn to,
Yeah.
and so I that's why it's funny to think how. I don't know how those things just stick around.
Yes.
If somebody brings up dinosaurs, I don't really know much about dinosaurs, but I absolutely love dinosaurs. Even more so than when I was a kid, probably.
Yes.
Yeah, just the free spirit of children is like, unfortunately, something adults seem to lose over
Yeah.
time. But could you imagine if we kept the maturity and regained the free spirit of children? Like, we would be unstoppable as a civilization.
Wow.
Imagine, like, if I'm curious about something, I'll just search it up. But my cousin, he's like 6. He knows every single flag of every single country, of every single state.
Oh wow.
He plays this game on my uncle's phone, and it's incredible.
Better
And
than us.
yes,
Obviously,
every
yeah.
single country in the entire world, every single state in the U.S.
That's insane.
My-
There's go ahead.
Dude, hold that thought, but just something quick. When I was young, that thing for me was cars. My dad would get me, you guys know Consumer Reports?
I've heard of that.
It's
Yeah.
a magazine. They would release consumer reports for cars of that year. And I'd just thumb through these magazines, bro. And I would memorize, obviously, the make and model of every car, but I would love to know the MPG of every car. And
Wow.
I would be on the road just calling every single out. This and that. And yeah.
That's such a funny thing.
Yeah.
Because it's really an estimation.
Yes.
I mean, like the engine is like,
Yeah.
you know the engine, but the MPG could be like up or down a few
Yes,
based on
yes.
just like how the person drives.
Exactly, bro.
That's such a funny thing to catch on to.
I was young, bro.
How
Very
young?
I want to say second grade. What, that'd be 12 years old? Not too young.
No,
but-
that's like
No. Second grade is
Oh, yeah, wait, no, you're-
7. Second grade would be like 7 years old.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
no.
I'm sorry. I was thinking sixth grade. I'm sorry.
yeah, sixth grade. would be about 11
second
or
grade.
12.
Yes.
You
yeah.
were?
Yeah, 7, 8 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't even know what I was into at that age. Just like soccer.
Yeah.
I
Sure.
played soccer.
I was into, I don't know. When you're a kid, yeah, I don't even know. When I was in second grade, I would just like to hang out with kids. Oh, I know now. It's funny to think of. I loved to fish. Loved it, dude. We'd go fishing, me and my buddy, all the time. And I don't know. We'd play Nerf.
Nerf or nothing.
Uh,
That's funny.
We would just do random little things. We would experiment. We would try to create little, I don't know, parachute dudes with Publix bags or something.
Wow.
We would just do random stuff.
Man,
Catch lizards.
did y'all's parents ever
Love
take
catching
you to the garage sale?
All the
Oh,
time.
dude, there would be on the
Good.
weekend. Me and my friend would go
Yard sales.
walk the neighborhood on yard sale day, and that was always such a. I would look forward to that weekend
Yes,
so much.
bro.
It's like thrifting.
It'd
It's
be like,
fun.
dude, the
Yes.
garage sales
Better
this
than
weekend.
thrifting.
Let's go.
I remember getting a clear like Nerf gun with my dad one time. I hope I still have it in a toy box somewhere, bro. Yeah, dude, garage sales, my friend.
Did you ever have a garage sale?
No. My neighborhood, surprisingly, just the one neighborhood to never do garage sales.
Weird.
Oh, that sucks. Mine had them often at the time.
We had one a
Um,
year. We hosted one a year.
Really?
Yeah.
Sure.
Dude, I
But
like-
was it at the communal place or
At my house.
at the house? At the
Yeah,
Driveway.
and driveways. People would just post up in their driveways with all their stuff. Some people would go all out, dude. They'd
Yeah.
bring out racks of shit. And
Yep.
It was
Oh my gosh,
my entire
dude.
Tubs of
extended
everything.
family would bring all their
This
stuff.
is back
oh, you
when
would have have one?
Yeah.
We wouldn't have one, but I would go pick from them. We'd go to them. Me and my friend. It was so fun.
Dude, this
You
is
get up
back
early for
This is back then when which some garage sales are still like this. They're just trying to get rid of
I
stuff.
know.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
like
yeah.
50 cents, take it. The whole thing at $2. Take
What's
it.
this, like a family portrait of your daughter? Like, it just got thrown in some random tub of stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
Do you know who
Dude.
Gary Vee is?
Of course.
Okay, yeah. He like made that thing popular.
Yeah.
Where he's like, I'll give you 50 cents. And then he's like, okay, I could sell this on eBay for $600.
what you need to do is sell your house. Dude, have you seen that Theo Vaughn bit where Theo Vaughn's making fun of him? He's like,
No,
what you need to
I
do
want to watch.
is sell
that.
your house and start living on your lawn because that's how you're going to start making money. Throw out your silverware.
Dude.
Who needs silverware? Sell it.
Gary V. I remember Gary V. seeing him through the actual YouTube ad. But this is my Lambo. Like before he was even memed out.
Whoa.
I remember seeing Gary V. And dude, everyone hated him, bro. Like this guy's a scum. That's like the original like get rich quick scheme.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Dude, I never would have thought like he'd be a well-regarded person now.
No, yeah, I remember when he would get a bunch of flack when he was not nearly as big, and you go in the comments and you'd see people just shitting on him. Like, they would say things like that.
Yeah.
Like, people would just make fun of his approach to making money. Like, good idea. I'll just go start a winery in my front yard in my free time when I get off of work or whatever. I don't, just
Yes,
some
the-
random.
The
like,
way he put it across probably wasn't perceived well, but
no,
I'm
like
sure
people would just make fun of him though. But
Yeah.
he was just doing his thing, you know.
yeah.
He
But
wasn't-
it proved to be pretty valuable.
Yeah.
And yeah.
To add to the skepticism though, like he was the one who told all the celebrities to buy NFTs.
Really.
I think he like created Mr. Beast's NFT or something crazy
Oh,
like that. He
really?
told all of them to buy like the mutant yacht apes or whatever.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Board.
and
Board?
apes.
No,
Board
no,
Ape
no.
Yacht Club, yeah.
The
Oh,
board
yeah,
apes.
yeah.
I remember that.
Wow.
I'm glad I never got into that because
You
It
see
just
where it's
seemed-
at now.
what?
You
Yep.
see where it's at now.
Yeah, it always seemed
Did-
like a scam to
did
me. I
y'all-
didn't see the NFTs especially. The cryptocurrency, there was a time where it piqued my interest and I was like, this is
Yes.
interesting
I was
because of Bitcoin's rap,
Mm-hmm.
or it was Bitcoin did incredibly well, and then there was Ethereum, and so it just got me thinking and scratching my head, like, is this actually going to be something that works? But I never saw it as something practical that I would use, and so for that reason, I just didn't put my money into it, because if I don't believe in it, then I don't think it's worth
Sure.
investing in.
I was gonna ask. I was a part of a trading group at one point. Were y'all ever like? Did y'all ever get into trading or crypto or anything like that?
Not
Or
really.
try to at least? I feel like we
In
all,
high school, for
yeah,
sure, dude.
at least tried, but it just most time the people leading you, the people you're taking advice from, they're making money off you,
Yes.
and like,
The monthly fee.
Dude, it really
Yeah, yeah,
takes.
yeah.
I think if you are a math brain, you can figure out the stock market, or you can trade currencies and stuff and start making
oh,
money.
dude, absolutely,
You have
I'm
to,
open to still learning it, brother.
if you,
I
but
think we
it's
should all.
takes it's like a full time job. You can figure out. Some people figure them out, dude. Some people figure out algorithms and whatnot that work very well.
Man,
But it takes a really like statistically and just mathematically inclined mind to do that
I've
kind of
got
stuff.
I've got a
Creative
neighbor
mind
back
also.
at home. Dude, he trades with like $200,000 in his account, and he withdraws. He makes his $1,000 for the day before like 11 a.m. withdrawals. Um, yeah, if you really want to make money through the stock market, you got to have some capital. But yeah, this dude makes 1,000 a day, like nothing in withdrawals. He's retired, and like it's just a hobby for him. Like something worth learning, brother. Like.
Honestly, I think that people make it seem like it's easier than it actually
Oh,
is.
yeah.
Oh no, yeah,
And I
it's
think there's a lot of
takes a
luck involved.
lot of time. If you want to get good at it, it becomes.
Oh, dude, it
people do
takes-
it full time. They will move, literally just move to other parts of the world
Wow.
so they can have a better sleep schedule and be able to catch trades and stuff.
Yeah, a good trader, it takes years to really find a good
And it's a
method
very, you got to be able to recognize patterns. You have to be smart. You have to be good at math.
intuitional.
Usually being good at math helps. You're probably going to hate it if you're not good at math, because it's just like numbers and data analysis. And
Don't quote me on this, but I think I remember reading that Warren Buffett, like 90% of his capital was made after he was like 70 or something like that.
Wow.
Which just proves, I mean, his thing is like compounding interest, compounding investments.
Oh.
It takes such a long time for things to compound, but once you start going exponentially in the later stages, like it's
Yeah.
incredibly valuable.
that's the thing about exponential growth, is that there's a threshold that once you pass that threshold, the exponential growth really takes effect. But before then, it's actually incremental. It'll be so slow before then. Because if you ever look at an exponential curve, it's like all the way at zero for a while and then just skyrockets once it hits that point. Once it hits a certain threshold, and that's that's exactly why it's worth it to
Yeah.
the compound of exponential growth.
I watched
Doesn't take effect
Sorry, go.
until years later.
Keep that in mind, my friend. But a great question for us is just wondering, what is y'all's earliest experience with real wealth? Mine was my aunt had this boyfriend, and he had this beautiful beach house, 3 stories, I'm sure. And I remember the garage was filled with fireworks, like boxes of fireworks, all the $100 packs or whatever. And yeah, like,
for what?
dude,
For fun.
yeah, for fun, dude.
That's so cool.
And yeah, that was my, I guess, first experience with wealth. Anything y'all recall in specific?
I gotta like, it's so easy to take for granted that I don't have to worry about where my next meal is gonna come from.
Absolutely.
You know, like where am I gonna? I know where I'm gonna sleep tonight.
Absolutely.
Things like that. Like I can talk to my family every day on the phone if I needed to.
Sure.
Which yeah, like it is easy to take that for granted. But I guess I haven't really experienced like the ultra wealthy
Sure.
lifestyle or anything.
Yeah, I
Okay.
don't know if I have either, in terms of like the just the fuck you type of money.
Yeah.
Like-
That's a good way to put that.
Sure. Yeah. There is a difference between being rich and wealthy, but
Right. My dad likes to talk about that.
yes, absolutely. Obviously, we're shooting for wealthy.
Yeah.
Wait, I wanted to say something about the
Yeah.
compounding
Yeah, go
interest. I just watched this video of this dude the title was doubling my caloric intake every day, starting at 1 calorie. So he's eating like for the first few days, like 1 calorie, 2 calories. It's like 1 piece of lettuce, 2 pieces of lettuce, 4 pieces of lettuce, 8 pieces of lettuce. And by the second week, he's eating more calories in a day than I'm eating in a week. You know what I mean? He's at like 16,000 calories.
So it kind of makes up.
Compounds, exactly.
Wow.
Yeah, it doubles.
But,
Every time
like,
it doubles, it hits that
I mean,
threshold.
The fact that he survived like a week on like
Yeah.
500
You're
calories.
basically just fasting.
Yeah.
For those first few days. Wow.
Yeah, but by the second week, that's a
Gorged.
Yeah.
crazy amount of calories.
Wow.
Yeah. There's not much middle ground. It's
I'll
just
tell you.
either really low or really high.
Yeah.
But there's not much middle ground when it comes to exponentials.
Yeah.
Man, I'll tell you, I feel like I ate 16,000 calories before this. And I'm really so surprised I'm like still talking here and not napping because I had a big half pound of noodles, half pound of
Oh, that
ground
would-
beef.
Can we
and, like,
calculate how many calories this actually is?
Yeah,
Do you know?
I'd love to.
Half pound
I
noodles
could probably
would put
estimate
me
it.
out, dude. That would make me sleepy.
Half a box of noodles.
half a pound of noodles,
Okay, that's like
Half-
800 calories.
Because I don't eat
half a pound of
heavy
ground
carbs,
beef,
so that would
ate
make
What?
by
me
15.
Okay, so that's probably like, wait, half a pound.
pound of noodles. I'm trying to think.
So let's say that's 1,200 calories with the noodles and beef.
Sure.
Okay.
And then half a jar, let's say the jar is maybe 16 ounces of mushroom pasta sauce.
Oh, okay. That's probably pretty calorically
Yeah.
dense. Let's say that's like 500.
Yeah. So,
Wow, dude, that's like almost a day's worth of calories.
yeah.
Oh, but you were fasted, weren't you?
Yes.
Okay.
And two big bowls of pasta.
Wow.
Like, delicious, boys.
What a reward, though, to just eat it all at once, right?
Absolutely.
I love that.
Absolutely. I love it.
It's so in my abnormal psych class, we were talking about eating disorders. And curiously, I was like, asked my professor, what do you think about competitive eaters? Right?
oh, yes.
She's like, I didn't think that was a real thing.
Oh.
So, okay, for
Oh.
her to know that,
Dude,
How-
does she
how
know
big is
Joey
this
Chestnut?
classroom?
this is like a 250 person
Oh.
lecture.
Does she
Wow.
know Joey Chestnut?
Dude, I asked her, have you seen the hot dog eating contest? She's like, I thought that was just a movie.
Oh, dude.
You're kidding.
I mean, every
This is a
single
sport now.
competitive, I know,
Yeah.
every single competitive eater follows all the requirements for these eating disorders. You know what I mean?
Oh.
And especially like Beard Meets Food. I watch this guy on YouTube.
Yes.
He talks about, I mean, the equivalent of his purging, which is that he goes like on 80-mile bike rides to burn the calories.
No way.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he fasts for like 2 days, eats 1 billion calories, and then bikes
There's-
it off.
There's
Not
Matt
worth-
Stoney.
Matt Stoney, yeah,
Matt
dude.
Stoney.
He was like the first one I
I
found.
find it so interesting that
Wait,
Joey Chestnut as well.
that's Stoney. Sounds
Um,
familiar.
Joey
Jo-
Chestnut
Joey
came out
Chestnut
of
as
nowhere.
well.
And he holds all the
That's-
records.
Yeah, that's like the first.
Dude, did you know they?
That's the first competitive eater I know of.
Jeez, man.
Do you know?
Get
Joey
this.
Joey Chestnut got banned, I think, from the most recent hot dog eating competition because he was going to eat. Dude, I don't know. I can't remember the details. It might have been he was going to eat a certain
Dude.
vegan hot dog or some sort of hot
Oh,
dog that
in
some
replace
company that wasn't endorsed by the event.
Nathan's hot dogs or whatever.
I don't remember. I think the event though didn't endorse it, and he wasn't allowed to make a deal with this. He wasn't allowed to advertise this type of hot dog, but he chose to, and
Dude.
I don't know.
Ridiculous.
A lot of speed eaters look relatively healthy.
Yes.
They're not obese. It's because they have such a big vacuum of a stomach that they can just fill it up and keep cycling it, like, and get it out quickly.
They're just vacuum cleaners.
Like, yeah, dude, I find that so interesting.
And it
bro.
is just like the law of thermodynamics. Like you just eat calories and you burn calories.
Yes.
And like if you can match the equation, then you'll remain the same weight. You know.
Wow.
It just like makes it's like a math problem to them.
Yeah.
And they just have to figure out how to get that much food in their stomach.
Sure, but then metabolism comes into play and whatnot. But yeah,
yeah,
that
but then
is-
there's also it's not good for probably not good for your organs to
Yeah.
overeat.
Yes. That's
'cause then you got to
crazy.
think that you're giving your liver and
I do hope
other organs like
they
just have to process all so much stuff at once that it's like becomes toxic. It's
Look.
too much at once.
Yes.
Joey Chestnut is getting pretty old. I hope he's not doing this past.
How old is he?
I want to
He's probably
say
like 40.
I want to say 50
No way.
or
Is he?
nearing 50.
I have no
is my
idea.
guess.
Oh, that's really impressive.
Like I hope these people don't do it till to their 60s, my friend. Like
Yeah.
I can't imagine that's good for someone aging like that.
Dude, this guy on YouTube, Eric the Electric, he's the one who does like
I
the
recall.
crazy high calorie counts where
Yep.
he like people eat a lot of dense or not dense food, but he counts calories. He does like 50,000 calorie days. I mean, just like think about that's like a month's worth of calories for some people. In a day he does that. And then the next day he's literally just like he takes a video of himself. He's like wants to die. It's crazy
Yeah.
how that's even possible and how he keeps doing it for content. It's like
I once saw
I
a video
recall
of a
him,
dude
bro.
drinking a.
Crazy.
I saw a video of a dude drinking an entire gallon of olive oil once for YouTube.
And then
that's a ridiculous
He-
amount of calories.
He ended up having to go to the hospital. I think
and
it
then
was.
Oh my
there's
God.
then
He
there's
was
the
like shitting his brains out, and
what? Wait, you said he shot his brains out.
No,
he was,
Oh,
he was shitting his brains
out of pain.
out. He was shitting.
Oh my gosh.
I think
no.
even after, I think he might have made himself throw it up and still got so sick.
And then there's
You think about how many grams of saturated fat that is?
look, and
Well,
then
for
there's
olive oil, it's kind. Oh, I guess if you're drinking a gallon, yeah.
yeah.
Or unsaturated fat, not saturated.
Yeah.
But
There's the 10,000 grams of protein challenge. People
not
do
good
that.
That's really bad for your
40,000
kidneys.
calories.
Because your kidneys just have to filter through all the extra protein your body doesn't absorb, and then
Yeah, it's not even helpful.
it's not good for your kidneys because
Oh,
it's
absolutely not.
you start peeing it out, and protein
Is
going.
that when you get kidney stones through something like that?
No,
maybe?
kidney stones are from calcium calcifying. If you have
Okay.
calcium in your blood or urine, I don't know,
Sure.
it can calcify in your kidneys. But
Yeah.
yeah, the protein, if it's like too large, proteins are large, and so when they pass through your kidneys, like the porous membranes, I'm pretty sure they can tear holes in it. If you so like there's a disorder that you have consistently have too much. I think it's gout can do this. You know, that actually might cause crystals, but too much proteins passing through your kidneys can cause damage to the passageways in them because proteins are large and obstructive, and then it makes your kidneys less effective at filtering out toxins in general because they
Wow.
become compromised and less the pores get bigger in them. I think, I don't know.
Should we wrap this up or are we good?
Yeah, what time is it?
I mean, I could talk for
7:08.
another.
I know.
Yeah,
Dude, this was awesome, boys.
It was.
We brought together 3 people today.
I'm glad
Who-
we finally got together.
Yeah. Who knows how much of a difference one more person can make?
Oh,
Oh,
we
just-
wouldn't stop.
Yeah, dude.
I don't have
the
a-
feedback is
gotta get a
endless.
4th microphone,
Yeah.
or you could just share it.
We
with
could
somebody.
share it,
Yeah. No, seriously.
No,
bro.
I'd have to get a 4th for optimal audio. It would be weird sharing a microphone. It would be hard, awkward.
No, but the content we went over today, so awesome. I just really wish that and we will, like, I want the content to just get more interesting, like,
For sure.
and the dynamic of us talking, it's just going to get smoother.
And
like-
always, yeah. Conversations are always, we can always have a good one, I think.
Absolutely.
I think we can always get a good one. We could have, and we could have another person on. I would love to have the other David on and talk about weather and stuff. He's like a
He's
meteorology
got a lot
major,
of
but he's
info.
Cool.
very interesting. Jeremy and Tristan would be interesting.
That would be a crazy.
It would be
combo.
hard to probably, dude. They are open when they're together, and I feel like they feel comfortable around us, so they probably would be interesting on, to talk to on the podcast.
They might say a lot of things I don't understand.
That's good though.
They're
You can
very
ask them to
smart
explain. You can ask them to. It's perfect.
Yeah.
And then that's creates for really interesting conversations when when you start asking people to explain what they actually mean and what this actually means, it forces them to think about it in different ways they never have, and then it just becomes a very engaging conversation.
Absolutely. Wow.
Yeah.
Man.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess
The
we're gonna wrap it up.
brilliance.
It's been real.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
We're gonna
thanks
have
for
to
the,
do
The realist, Jack. Thank you for putting this together, bro.
yeah, dude, thank you.
You got
Of
us.
course, guys,
You got
of
us comfy.
I enjoy it, dude. I just do it because it's fun, you know?
Yeah.
I've always wanted to start a podcast, and it's just fun. I enjoy it. Sometimes it's hard to think of
Dude.
ideas for YouTube videos, and this isn't because I want to just make a YouTube video. I really just enjoy this. It's an excuse to
Yes.
get together and talk, and I love talking, so might as well record it. Because I've been thinking this since I was a kid. I've always been thinking I have the most interesting conversations with people. If I could just record this and make a podcast out of it, I think that would be so cool because I would enjoy it. I enjoy talking to people, and I think other people would enjoy it. And so it started with my brother. We would get into deep talks, and now it's always
my
just been
gosh.
like that. I was like, I finally just got to pull the trigger. Just
Yes.
get the shit, get the equipment, ask people to come on, and I enjoy it so far.
Look,
Episode 2.
everyone says let's start a podcast, but like we're really putting something together here.
Yeah.
Because a
Like,
lot of people don't have. A lot of people will start a podcast and then they'll just talk about stuff that it's for the sake of views. They're not actually doing it because. And this is the podcasts that aren't good. They're doing it for the sake of views, and there's not really a main central. I don't know. The conversations can be a bit shallow, you know.
sure.
Yeah, like you were telling me how you find it therapeutic almost and like cathartic
Yeah.
to just speak your mind in a free space
Yeah,
where we respect your
I guess
opinion.
I guess what I was getting at is I don't know. I don't really look at bad podcasts, so I wouldn't know. But if you if you are just genuine and honest, then I feel like it's
good things will come.
yeah, good things will come. If
Great
you're not,
things.
it's not something that you're not trying to do something. You're just putting out there what you like to do.
Yeah. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Dude, we're killing it every time. Absolutely.
absolutely. All right.
Hey, and also we're gonna get better at wrapping these up more naturally. This is part of the process. You guys get to see this with us.
That was a pretty good conclusion. I think.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That felt like a natural. We coasted into it.
Yes. And we're raw with you guys. You be raw with us.
Raw.
Yeah.
We can talk about that.
Oh my gosh. That's for another day for sure. And maybe we'll do a live demonstration.
Wait,
Yeah.
a live demo of what? I missed this part.
Raw milk,
Raw food.
raw foods.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
But also I meant we're raw.
We're raw.
you know.
Yeah.
This is the rawness of it.
Raw milk. That's right.
Absolutely.
All right.
Till next time.
Till next time.
Bye bye.